this is the best time to actually settle down and talk a bit, because everybody is settled down in this time. And I find this very convenient than the daytime. And then we go to sleep in this kind of awareness. It's all good and all times. So welcome all of you. Meera ji, Chaitali ji, Tina, Akash ji, Himawali ji, Anita ji. Most welcome. So today's topic is concepts. It's not about concepts. The whole thing that we're talking here about on shifting into awareness is not a concept. It might seem like a concept while we learn, while we practice, while we communicate, because these things are needed. All our panchendriyas are needed. And to understand, we need to have this kind of more or less understanding. So it's good. That way, it's good. So first we understand what is this whole thing about. Awareness, as I've been speaking all this time. Those who have been very regular, one second. Those who have been very regular will know what I'm talking about. So this, what we are talking about is awareness, and awareness cannot be talked about. Awareness is something that we got to experience and realize. Consciousness, for example, cannot be talked about. Soul cannot be talked about. God cannot be talked about. Everything is to be experienced. Only then we have a conviction. But again, then, to experience God also, there needs to be some kind of communication. That is the barricade which I want to convey today. That little barricade which is there, where the mind is used. Like, for example, I'm talking about a concept here, the concept of awareness. But it is not a concept in itself. When you move into, shift into awareness, you will see all the concepts just disappear. Concepts cannot survive there. There can be no theory, no philosophy, nothing. Everything just vanishes. So the concept is used only for our sake of studies, or sake of talking, communicating, understanding, listening, whatever. It is only for that state, but we must be wise enough to be aware that this whole concept is only till we get into that mode. The moment we are moving, approaching that moment of awareness, everything has to be just dissolved. Then after that, there is no concept. Like, for example, you can see in Ashtanga Yoga, Yam, Niyam, Asan, all those steps are there, Pratyahara. You'll see in that also all the 8 steps. The last step comes, Samadhi. On that is so many other Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pratyahara. You'll see then after all that, after you gain that stability, then comes Dhyan. Whereas you see in our spirituality, we directly try to enter into Dhyan, but there is so many things that comes in before that. And then after that Dhyan, there is something called Samadhi. So just to tell you, there also, it has to be conceptualized. Even to read that state, Yoga Rishi Patanjali also had to conceptualize this thing. That is, the concept had to be made that 8 limbs are there for you to reach Samadhi. Samadhi means mukti. That's that state. That comes after Dhyan. To reach a Dhyan only, Dhyan means 0 thoughts. But Dhyan also is not very easy. Dhyan is that state of what Patanjali ji says, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta means mind. Vritti means fluctuations. Nirodha means ceasing. stopping. So zero fluctuations in the mind is chitta vritti nirodha, which is equal to dhyana. But to reach that state, it's not easy. There are so many concepts that are there. So the concepts, once people learn, like asana or yam niyam, the rules, the disciplines, do's and don'ts, everything is there. Then asana, you have to get asana siddhi. Asana siddhi means it has to be very steady, your posture. Even if you sit in Padmasana, you should be able to sit for a long period of time. Why is asana given important? Because if you keep moving, it's a very difficult. And what keeps you moving? The fluctuations in the body, the vrittis in the mind. So until all that is settled, you cannot get into asana. So practice is done, asanas, different asanas. Asana just means posture. So steadying the posture. Steadying the posture means as good as steadying the mind. The body and mind is related. Sthirta. If mind is still, the body will become still. You can see that very clearly. If mind is restless, you cannot be still. Body will be restless. So it all goes on that concept. The concept. So yam niyam all has to be followed. The asana all has to be followed. But you will see that after reaching close to dhyana, after all the withdrawal of the senses, all that blah blah blah, all those things, processes, then you enter into something called dhyana. By this time, you have reached that state where there is cessation of thoughts. Now you are easily, you didn't directly jump there. You went through all this. But as you reach that state, you will see that you will have to leave the concepts. Then concepts don't work for you. Because that concepts now becomes a part of you. Yam niyam becomes a part of you. Now you don't have to do all that struggle. In the start, you have to wake up on that time, sit at that particular time, practice at that particular time, maintain disciplines. So many disciplines are there. Waking up early, sleeping early, eating food properly, timely food, timely activity. There's everything on time, 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 time. All these things are there in the start. So it's a concept. Very good. Concepts are very good. But you will see once you get acquainted with it, then you become the asana, you become the yam, you become the niyam automatically. Then there is no need to follow a schedule. You become that. And because you are that, you are able to now enter into dhyana. Simple. So the concepts will leave on its own. While you reach the state of dhyana, and let's say you are transcended dhyana or are able to extend the dhyana into samadhi, there is no point sitting there discussion about asana. Because without asana, proper asana, you cannot get there, first of all. Now, when you have got it, you got to drop this ladder. Yam niyam will drop. Because now this person can sit anywhere and get into deep dhyana and attain samadhi. Now, for this person to talk about yam niyam is foolish there. Because now he has transcended the time and all that stuff, all those disciplines he has transcended because he has achieved what he wants to achieve. All those yam niyam was to bring him to that state. Now he has reached that state. Now he can easily enter into dhyana or into samadhi. Will that person sit doing yam niyam? It's not needed, right? And everybody will agree with that. So it is still we master a certain discipline. All these concepts are used. So these are various concepts, and as many rishis were there, as many paths were there, as many gurus were there, all had different concepts. They're all concepts. Path are not anything big different. They all have individual different kind of concepts, different theories, different philosophies. But the goal is one. What is the goal? Dhyana and samadhi. You do it in this manner, you do it in that manner, whatever you want to reach that state. That's the whole thing about. So there is a lot of doing. The kartapan is there, the doership is there, because you have to do a lot of things. Disciplining yourself and all those things are doing. You have to do it. You have to put forth, you have to exert that. But once the doing becomes very natural, then there is no doing. You enter into the being. You are very natural, spontaneous, sahaj. then your posture itself, when you sit itself, you will not slump and sit, you will not sit teda meda. A person who has attained that kind of all the concepts if he has achieved towards dhyan and samadhi, you'll see he is naturally sitting like a dhyani. You can just look at the posture of a person and tell whether he's a yogi or a bhogi. The way they are able to sit, sitting still, sitting straight, sitting elegantly, gracefully, not slumping, not falling down, not crouching, not leaning. Lethargy will not be there. Those are signs of yogi. A bhogi will be always restless because the bhog, vasana is always there, something or the other. It wants to talk, it wants to do something or the other, it wants to fiddle with something, it wants to eat something, it wants to scratch, it cannot sit idle. It will keep fiddling. Bhog sharir, you will come to know. Yogic sharir, you will come to know. That person is just sitting calm without too much of movements. And his activity will not be fast. Even if you have to look somewhere there, it will be very graceful. It will not be like this. Bhogi sharir and yogi sharir, you will come to know. Now the yogi sharir, why it is that way? Spontaneously with activity and participation and all the doership and all that, that person has reached that kind of stability. Now, does this person need asana? A yogi doesn't need to practice asana because he is already the asana. Wherever he is sitting like a yogi. So what I'm trying to tell is, it's all about the concepts and dropping the concepts. Awareness, what I'm talking here about, has no concepts itself. Even the sake of this talking and doing this is just to stimulate the mind and to get us into that mode. The moment we are able to get into that mode, you don't need preaching, you don't need teaching, you don't need these concepts, you don't need books. As simple as that. So you'll need all these concepts, you'll need all these books, you'll not need like this kind of videos and all till you are able to achieve that stability. But that much awareness the seeker should have, that this is just a mere concept which will have to be dropped today or tomorrow. It's not going to be eternally with me. Just like a yogi drops, he doesn't drop purposely, it automatically drops away from him. Once he becomes that, it drops away from him. You'll see always grace in the person's actions, talk, speech, walk, whatever they do. It will have a certain grace, it will have a certain fluidity. It will not be very rigid, it will not be harsh, it will not be sudden jerks and all that. Why? Because that person has practiced. The ability, even like sitting here for 4 hours, 5 years, 6 hours, the kind of asana siddhi, because you are comfortable wherever you are placed. You don't have to make too much of adjustments with your body. I remember Swami Rama's teaching, which we put it on Mystical Mystics. Very beautiful observations these are. Swami Rama's guru was a great master, very liberal, and he had very different ways of teaching his disciple. He did not keep his disciple always with him. He did not want to conceptualize something or brand that person into something. He wanted to make Swami Rama free. So the first thing that he did was he set him free. All his teachings were not besides him. He asked him to leave. He sent him to different places, different isolated places, different villages. Not just that, he even sent him to different gurus. He sent him to different. Those days it was that way. One guru is to send it to another guru, and from another guru to another guru. Why? Because the diversity, the variety. Not so that you don't become like a horse, just one philosophy. You don't become a fanatic. Fans become fanatic. Fans means just that. You can see the fans, they will fight with other heroes also. Fans have clash. One is a Shah Rukh Khan fan, one is a Amir Khan fan. They will clash. Or one is a Ajay Devgan fan and one is a Salman Khan fan. They will clash. If somebody speaks each against each other, they will clash. The whole group will clash because they are very fond of their celebrity. So that is one way, just one thing. But Swami Rama's master, which if you have read Living with the Himalayan Masters, you will see that they were very diverse, very open, very free, liberal. They wanted them to go out and experience life. So they have all the taste of variety and come to know that it's all leading to one place. So that the ego is demolished. Because being with one guru has another ego. Even that ego, my guru is great, my path is the greatest, is a big ego. So when you go to multiple places, you'll have the humility that all gurus are the same. सभी आदरणीय है, सभी पूजनीय है. All have reached to a certain level, and the consciousness that man is the same consciousness. Though they talk differently, act differently, have different philosophies, different concepts, but they all come from the same source. So that gives us humiliation, that gives us oneness, that gives us acceptance of everything, accepting everybody the way they are. That leaves no room for judgment. So these were the practices that were given those days. Today it's not very fond of, because today we don't, I think we have forgotten also the purpose of all this. We have forgotten. Those days it was mostly on liberating the being, then conceptualizing that being. The master did not ever want the disciple to get branded into one and then hold on to one thing only, because then that person will preach only one thing, my concept. They wanted to have Vasudeva Kutumbakam attitude. So they sent them out. Go out and experience life. Go out and see the diversities of life. If you are just in one ashram, you have not seen Kuhe ke mendak jaisa, the frog in the well. Every frog will think that well only is the Sarvashresht. But the frog should go out and see the world. So that is why that concept was. When I met Anand Tirth Maharaj in Uttarkashi, he told me the same, that 22 years he learned under his guru in that place, whole Vedanta, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas. Then his guru said, go. And he asked, why? He said, because if you go out into the practical world and see the diversity, see everything, because here, sitting here and giving theory is very easy. Life is this way, life is that way, God is this way, God is that way, spirituality is this way, religion is this way. It's so easy. When you go out there, you will come to know the creation of God. When you live in the world, you will come to know. See, he sent him. And Anantir Maharaj used to roam everywhere, wander. He was a Parivrajaka. That is why we both had that affinity. We came together. Both are like that, Parivrajaka. We both are wanderers. So I didn't know about this wandering thing. And only after I met him, I came to know that, oh, even I am a wanderer. So now it made more sense to me why I wander. Previously, everybody, the areas that I lived in, never saw wandering. They had only one place to sit and listen and preach and practice there only. Everything in that only. You're not supposed to look here, not supposed to look here. Forget going to other places, other ashram, other guru. You're not even supposed to look here and there. So I never had this idea of what is this. So I always thought wandering is a sin. Because the concept that I learned was, क्यों जाना इधर उधर? काहे भटकना है इधर उधर? What is it that you're searching outside? Everything inside. Everything is here. What is the need to travel? What is the need to go here and there? And that kind of a guilt was always poisoning my mind. So I thought that is the truth. I said yes. So this I used to travel with guilt because this vasana of traveling also was very strong in me, coming from obviously my purva janma samskaras, my previous lifetime. It was coming from there because this is not my first life that I'm wandering or traveling. I've done this before also. So carry forward. But I don't know about all these things. Who's going to talk about all these things? So I always moved with a little guilt wherever I went. Oh, am I doing right? Oh, what is the need? Not now, long back when I started. But that traveling thing never stopped. And I'm telling you, what I learned in my travels can be never compared to what I learned sitting in one place. Never. I can say 80% of life that I've learned is through my travels. I'm glad I traveled. Otherwise, कुएं का मेंढक हो जाता. Just one thing all the time. And this got clear to me when Anand Tirth Maharaj said, my Guru sent me out. Now you have all the wisdom, all the gyan, but now go out. And when you go out, you will come encounter such things in life. And then you will remember every part of the Vedanta, of all the Vedic knowledge that you have learned. Oh, this thing is already mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this is already mentioned in the Brahmana Purana. Oh, this is also already there in the Ramayana. Oh, this is there in Mandukya Upanishad. Everything you'll be able to relate now. Because where does all this gyan come from? It came from the cosmos, the creation, the Srishti. And now you are moving in the Srishti. You are taking direct practical experience from the Srishti, from the creation. Even you will know more about the creator in the creation, not sitting in four walls. If you want to know the creator, you will have to first enter into the creation. Where is creation? Outside your four walls. So that was a beautiful thing that he said, and I think that was a divine message for me. It became very clear to me. Okay, good. Good, I said. Now it's clear to me. Because the divine has various ways of teaching. That's a school itself. My travel only took me to that place and explained so many things. Uttarkashi, that was a part of my travel. If I hadn't traveled, I wouldn't have even understood these concepts. So even the monks that I met, the avduts that I meet, the siddhas I met, my guru that I met, every single thing is a part of my journey. So much importance is given to the journey. I'm talking again on today's subject only. This is the concepts. So the concepts that Anantit Maharaj learned, he was now experiencing out in the world. The concept that I talk of here is what I learned from the world, not from what I learned from my books. Or not, I'm not parroting what I heard from my guru and just saying something, unconditional love. You must have observed I never talk about unconditional love because I don't have it. What I don't have, why should I talk about it? It's faking. Philosophizing is something else, but we must always talk with experience. It's not that others have unconditional love. No, it's very, very rare to have. That quality of unconditional love is something we cannot even imagine. But we so casually talk about it. Casually because experience nahi us cheez ka. Heard it from somewhere, talk about it. When we go out in the world and try to now put those concepts into work, we will know what the teaching is. Manthan hona chahiye. Everything there will be introspection. Then only you reach to a conclusion, yes, this is it. That is what I was talking about, manyata. Manyata means beliefs. मानते आए हैं, सुनते आए हैं, मानते हैं, सुनते आए हैं, मानते हैं. Everything has been told to us, parents, teachers, society, sub, friends, सब हमने गैदर किया, इकट्ठा किया। डायरेक्ट एक्सपीरियंस नहीं, उनके एक्सपीरियंस, किसी के एक्सपीरियंस होना है, क्या होगा उससे? किसी के एक्सपीरियंस से क्या होने वाला? Even if I tell about my experience with avdutas, it's not going to affect you in any way. You might be inspired at the most, but that experience is never going to come to you until you have that experience. तो प्रयास यही है, even if I'm talking about awareness, it is to make you experience that. Because my guru used to always tell, my guru's guru used to always tell, do not speak of something which you cannot give an experience to others. What you speak, you should have the capability to give the exact experience to the others. Only then you have the right to speak about it. This is what we are talking about philosophy. Practice what you preach. So if I don't have unconditional love, why will I talk about it? It's stupidity to talk about it. So same, and I'm highlighting these features so that the seekers on the path get this, grasp it. It's very important, all these things. This is what is called as integrity or authenticity. You're very authentic with what you do. Everything should reflect what you do. Nothing should be fake. We are something, we show off to be something. We know something, we speak something. Conflict, major conflicts. Then you will not be able to easily align on this path. It's very difficult for you. Very, very difficult. That is why I'm doing so many lives every single day. Awareness is a practice, straight practice. It doesn't need all these concepts. When you go into awareness, all these concepts are null. It's like thrash. Doesn't work there. But these concepts only help prepare you. Prepares you, it motivates you, it inspires you, it gives you enough wisdom, it gives you clarity. So I have been talking about all these years about clarity, having clarity on the path. Now I can see other life coaches also talking about clarity. Till then, till here, there was no clarity. When now we are all understanding. You need to have clarity. You need to give clarity to the people before we teach something. Meditation and techniques are of no use if there is no clarity. Because if there is no clarity, the same technique somebody can create havoc out of it. You give a knife to somebody and you explain it properly, that person might use a knife to cut some unwanted weeds in his house, or he might use that knife to cut himself or somebody else. The knife is not a problem. The clarity on what the knife is for is important. Giving techniques won't work. Somebody contacted me long back. They were doing some yoga, some higher or deeper yoga, and they fell into some deep kind of problems. Suddenly something happened in their bodies and some changes coming, and somebody is getting in deep into insomnia, unable to sleep for 15 days. Worried, what happened? Techniques are good. Best of techniques are available everywhere. But the question is everybody ready for it? That is one simple reason why high or deep sadhanas were never revealed or told in the history. We have heard this word lupt, gupt tha, lupt tha. Why gupt and lupt? If it is for the benefit of humanity, why can't they just release it? Why did all the rishis keep certain things hidden? And I say nahi diye, sahaj. I say baate nahi, out of karuna, they didn't spread it out. You will be amazed on the kind of techniques and secretive methods that are there in Tirumandiram. None of it can be known properly because everything is in coded language. So to unlock that code only, first is needed is Shuddha Bhavana, purest of intention. With purest of intention flows grace, Kripa. If that grace is there, then you will have access to it. Not just Tirumandiram. all the secretive practices that are there. And it is not hidden in books, it is there in the cosmos. You don't need to go and hunt for books for that, or those palm leaves for that. Because those who have written it on the palm leaves also have downloaded it from somewhere. From where they have downloaded it is still there. The server, cosmic server. Only thing, everybody does not have the accessibility to that. So they catch on to somebody who has an access there. And then the someone gives it to another someone. Now, why that someone was able to download? Because he had a certain capacity to download it. He knew, he was attuned with that. Whatever was the worthiness for that, he was in that state. That is why it came to him. Now, from there, if it has to pass to others, there has to be the same kind of eligibility. Because it's the same stuff that is being spread out. If eligibility is not there, it can be a problem. So sometimes the knife can cause more harm than good. That is one reason why it was kept hidden. Now, if I am hook and crook, I get into access into that and I get to do that. Let us say I go and steal it from somewhere. I'm very oh, Tirumandiram, there are some secrets. So I go hook and crook, somehow try to catch hold of someone who knows it. Something I do and I get that technique. You have got a mine gold, no doubt. You have a diamond in your hand. But how it is going to work on something who is not eligible is a complete different story. Complete different story. Why do they say, without Guru, do not activate your Kundalini? You need a Guru who has already attained that state. Why do they say that? Because those areas are something where if you enter without knowledge or half knowledge, it can cause more harm than benefit. Now you might say Kundalini Shakti is a beautiful Shakti, it's a divine force. How can it cause harm? It doesn't cause harm, it is just a raw energy. If you are unable to give proper direction to it, it will just flow. You invoke, it will flow. That's all that it knows. You invoke and it will flow. You should be eligible enough, saksham hona chahiye, to give it a proper direction. Now, if you can't give that direction to it, it will flow anywhere. The requirement is that it should flow only through the Sushumna, Anida and Pingla Nadi from the Muladhara upwards. And that too at a certain speed, certain rate. Because if it moves in a certain speed, more than you can handle, your nadis can handle. Why we say nadis can handle? Because nadis have impurities, the karmic blockages. And the raw energy doesn't know anything. It just flows. Like what happens if you open the floodgates? Can you tell that the floodgates, once you open, now you flow according to what is required? It doesn't know anything. It's raw force. It will just flow. Now, if you have not navigated, channelized it properly, instead of providing water to the fields, it will flood your fields. It will immerse the whole village. It will cause havoc. It will kill. Water is supposed to sustain lives, to provide drinking water, and here it has drowned them. Same water. So obviously, there is some wisdom needed for that. And if one doesn't have that, then it is said a guru is needed who is capable enough to handle the floodgates. Now, if I'm a greedy person and I go and pay somebody and do something to get that thing done, because all I want is just Kundalini awakening, and all I want is that Shakti to reach my Sahasrara, what will happen? I'm not ready for it. That is why in olden times, the gurus would see carefully on who's ready for it. It's not that they don't want to give, it is only that the person is yet not ready to receive it. That's the only thing. If they are ready, why will they stop? Compassion doesn't mean just fulfilling the need. Compassion means making sure that you are able to handle it and properly do it. And that is how even my guru, I've observed him. He's very careful. What the collective could handle, only that much. There are few sitting there deeply wanting more. But for that more, he will not risk the less. Many times it used to be a big disappointment. Everybody is sitting ready, and then most of them are not ready, and the flow is not so much. It can be increased, but then it will cause damage to the many others. That is compassion. You don't want to damage anybody. You see that everybody is okay and fine, because it's a responsibility. That's a huge responsibility as a guru. Huge. You cannot fathom it. That is why when somebody asked me, this guy is behind to become a guru, and I said, you don't even know what is guru. I don't want to get into that zone also. A huge responsibility and huge capacity should be needed for that. Otherwise, it's trouble. So when the floodgates open, and if you are not ready, it will just flow. Now it might be my desire, my intense desire that I want something, my impatience that I want something, and that something is raw energy. You ask and it will be given. Why are some sadhanas forbidden? Like Dhumavati Ma sadhana. Very powerful sadhana, these are. Dash Mahavidyam, if you see, one of the Shakti related to Ma Dhumavati. That is supposed to be very ugra, very powerful. Because all other Shaktis, all other 9 Shaktis have Shiva and Shakti in them, have the masculine in them. But Ma Dhumavati's form does not have a masculine in it. Ugra, raw energy, it should be able to, because Adhar hai. Masculine is Adhar, it's a foundation with which that Shakti can be properly there. But this doesn't have that foundation. So everybody dreads doing that sadhana. It's very difficult. So if you have that capacity, then somebody goes and does it. There is no capacity. Why would one want to risk? Because it can kill. It can kill. Shakti runs through your nadis. It will tear apart. Nadis will just snap. Somebody once asked my guru, can we do Madhumavati sadhana? He said yes, but first develop nerves of steel. He was talking about nadis. Nerves of steel means it should be able to withstand that energy. Otherwise, why you put your head in that? Simple as that. So somebody did those. It was not just now. Even recently, I have heard the same. Previously, also I heard. Somebody did it out of their own excitement, and sometimes because some things are very deep, very, very deep. Proper guidance and assistance should be there for that all the time. Otherwise, it can be difficult. So some people have difficulties. It can have other side effects. So people write to me. I said, don't ask me. Ask proper channels. So I have not taught you that. That is why everything is very step by step. Everything is gradually taken. There is no direct, nobody makes you sit like and take this diksha and go. No, you are made to practice for a long time. How many of us have actually practiced for years and step by step gone slowly into all that? But how much we practice, how much we have purified, how much we have cleansed depends upon how much we are ready to get further in that. Then when there is too much energy, you cannot sleep. There are times when I used to do live sessions, and whichever day I used to, those days those days it used to be very intense. I know it. Now I don't get into that because those days after COVID, I used to be in a trance most of the time while talking also. And many people also would get into that zone. What used to happen is every Sunday night after doing the live, I used to never sleep. I could never sleep. My next sleep is on Monday only. How much ever I do, no sleep. Eyes will be like a fish all the time open. That's that energy that flows, the downloads that happen. You're dazzled by it. Sometimes it's so high, you can't manage it. These are side effects of that. But then you should have enough maturity to understand. If you don't have maturity to understand, then it same thing will seem like a problem, and then you can get into too many other hassles. But these, the paths that like these always need a very active and bold seekers. The more you go into it, the more boldness you need. That is what I was talking about. Swami Rama, very bold master, lived in the wilderness. His master sent him everywhere. And one beautiful thing that his master taught him was how to recognize the guru. Because he used to send to many people, even hoax gurus, so that he learned from there also, purposely. So someday Swami Rama went somewhere and he saw somebody's making fire like this without matchstick or without even rubbing the stones. A certain way and there's fire comes up. Siddhis, these are all called siddhis. You might see a lot of such miracles around. If you move towards Himalayas, if you move towards the places where you will see lot of such miracles, lot. Many things happen. The fire is activated, and Swami Rama sits and dazzles, and he's dazzled by that. So fascinated, he comes back to his guru and says, I'm going. Guru says, why? He says, I have been here for so many years now. You didn't teach me this. I have been waiting that you will teach me something or the other. You didn't teach me anything. And look at that guru there. He told me, he promised, if you come to me, I'll teach you this. So beautifully. So the guru is unimpressed. And he says, okay, what did he do? He created fire like this within seconds by just staring at it. The guru says, okay, go, bye, see you. Swami Rama is, hey, he's not even questioning my going. He's happy for me to go. I am really going. Okay, go. But before going, just listen one thing. If you would have brought a matchstick for 25 paisa, you could have burnt it just like that. Just to avoid that matchstick you want to spend 25 years of tapas to get that siddhi? Does it make sense? 25 years to attain a siddhi of just blazing fire. 25 years of intense tapas. He says वो 25 पैसे के माचिस में आपको आ जाता आग लगानी. For whom? For whom and for what purpose is that siddhi? How is it going to benefit you or the world? Says go. Suddenly it strikes Swami Ram. He returns back. And he says, what I'm teaching you is not about all this magic and stuff and to show your tricks here and there. What I'm teaching you is much more deeper. This will benefit you in a great deal. And so he sent him to many gurus. Go there, go here. Some gurus who checked his ego. Some guru who taught him something. Some guru were fond of him. Some were strict with him. But his guru's only one word was, if you want to identify a real guru, just look at him sitting. If he changes every few minutes his posture, then run away from there. That was one way where his guru told him how to identify. Because that is what I'm talking today about. Everything comes in a cycle there. Even the asan is that sthirta, stability. It comes after a certain practice. And once that is there, it becomes sahaj in a person. If it is very sahaj and natural in a person, it is quite visible. So he says, just look at a yogi sitting, you'll come to know in the posture itself. Is that person restless in one place? Is that person needing to change again and again every minute or every few minutes his posture? That means he has not attained that. He says, just run away from that. I just remembered that because recently only, Mystical Mystic, that post had come. That. Anyways, what I was trying to say is the concept. These are all different kind of concepts that is used during training. The concept, the thing that I'm talking here about awareness is beyond all concepts. This is a place where all the concepts dissolve. Everything ends. No knowledge comes in use. No siddhis comes in use. Nothing comes in use here. Because here you just melt down. Your identity, your whole carrying of who you are, the personality, the knowledge that is holding on to in this, everything just dissolves, because only when it dissolves you can enter into awareness, pure state of awareness. That is why in Ramanaji's teachings it's very clear. Awareness is zero concept, but full attention. All concepts drops and the entire focus is on your attention, where you are giving. Attention is what I talk of awareness, of what aware you are, how aware you are. That is the attention. So when you get into that attention, no concept can take you there. No concepts comes handy from that point onward. Everything has to drop, including all the knowledge, all the practices that you have gathered for the whole lifetime also. It drops there. Everything is left behind. Then you enter into a zone that is of no mind. Because please understand, all the concepts are in the mind. All concepts work only on the mind. No concepts works in the zone of awareness. Awareness is a no mind zone, simply meaning no concept zone. Awareness is that subtleness which has no properties, no guna, no attributes, no quality, nor the shape. So in simple words, we are telling we are entering into the zone of Nirguna, Nirakar. No quality, no form. That is the definition of God. If you have studied whichever philosophy, whichever path you have understood, you will see that ultimatum, the final teaching is that the God that you resemble or identify with, the supreme consciousness, the creator of this whole Srishti, including you and every aspect of you, is the Parabrahman, which is Nirguna, Nirakara, no form, no attributes. Now, if there is no attribute, no form, just through your intellectual knowledge only, just try to find out how will it be. Forget the experience. Use your mind only to even understand. They say it is very difficult. I know it's very difficult. But still, you can even imagine something close to that. When we are saying no quality means no tamoguna, no rajoguna, no satoguna also. All that we know in spirituality is that being, a pure being. We might know a master, a saint, or somebody, a rishi, somebody who has reached to that state, who's a being. But then that being, if you see the qualities, rajoguna might be completely absent, tamoguna might be completely absent, but satoguna will be there. Because the divine beings are satoguna, saints are satoguna. What is the satoguna? What is the guna attribute? What is the attribute? They have something called divinity. They have something called karuna, compassion. They have something called love. Are you seeing all this? These are qualities. It still has a quality, but it's a sattvic quality, a divine property. Saints. So whenever we identify any holy one, we say they are all divine beings, but if you observe carefully, there is satoguna in that. There might be absence of the other gunas, or something little might be there here and there. Most of the time, even the ego can be there. That is Rajasic guna. Ego is nothing but that even in a evolved being, there can be a pride of I'm evolved. Like in the Himalayas, when I went, one of the yogis told me, अहंकार इतना जल्दी जाता नहीं, यहाँ साधु को भी लंगोट का अहंकार है. What does that mean? Even a sadhu, even a holy person can have the ego of being in a loin cloth. Look, I have given, मैंने त्याग किया है. त्याग का भी अहंकार हो सकता है. That's Rajasic guna. So if Rajas is there, it might be in a very low quantity, Tamo guna might be absent, it might be that egoship might be there. Even thinking that I am a holy person is still a Rajasic quality. It's still a part of the Aham. Even feeling that this person is entitled, this person is not entitled. Or I am available to this person, I am not available to this person. This person is inferior to me, that person is superior to me. There is still distinctions of that. Or I am playing a major role here. I am serving the humanity. I am here to help humanity. It is still a part of Aham. Upadeshasaram explains this. Upadeshasaram, where the rishis who are blessing the humanity and doing so much of yajna, forgetting that it is the guna itself that is making them feel that they are saving the world. Lord Shiva had to come down with Vishnu, play their leelas, I have explained this many times, and make it known to the rishis and rishi patnis that karma kanda mein phase ho aap. You are still in the karma kanda, kriya kanda, and you are not noticing that. You are taking birth again and again because of the karma kanda, because एक संकल्प कर रहे हो आप हर बार, even to save the humanity, cause and effect. Moment you have a cause, there will be an effect. And as a part of that effect, you are coming here again and again, and you're not realizing you are not getting liberated. You're stuck in that cycle, just like others. Punarpi Janma, Punarpi Marana. And who said this? Lord Shiva. To whom? The rishis. Why it was said? It is very obvious, they have gunas there. There is gunas. That gunas were making them feel that way. Even though they were on a very high pedestal. Very, very high pedestal. There is no doubt about it. Rishis are supposed to be at that pedestal. But we have heard of rishis also having gunas. Take the example of Vishwamitra. There was a guna. Take the example of Durvasa Maharishi. Anger, Rajas, Rajoguna. It's all there. Narada, the ego of being Jitendriya, that I have won above all the senses. I am a victor of all the senses, including Kama. And Vishnu had to teach him a lesson that no, it is still there in you. Narada, what are these examples pointing us to? Because it is directly a reflection of what we are talking about. We are talking about Nirguna. And here, the examples that we look at, the highest examples that we can see, still have some of the other guna. That is why the word bhavatitam, trigunarahitam, trigunarahitam, beyond the words like these, turyatitam. Turyatit means what? Beyond even that state of turiya. Triguna, beyond the state of all the gunas. That is the quality we are aiming at. And here we have so many gunas. That is why the Himalayan yogi told me that day. They are sitting there half naked or partially naked or full naked, that's all okay. But he says still there is aham. This happened because one of my friend, we were moving around with the yogis and different ashrams and different places. So my friend asked, is it okay to give money to them as dakshina? The yogi immediately said, yes, they have all the right and they deserve bhiksha. They are bhikshuks. Bhikshuk means they have the authority to take bhiksha because they live on bhiksha. Now, bhiksha and bhik are two different things, okay? I'm not talking about bhik. Bhiksha is what the yogis live on, who have given up everything. The last thing to go is the ego, and that is why they hold on to that practice of bhiksha, which even being so powerful and so everything, you still are a beggar. You become a beggar. You become so lowly that the ego gets eradicated. That's the whole idea about it. So the yogi told him, yes, you must give money. In fact, I will tell you. You need not ask, you must give bhiksha to anybody you can. Any something. And then he says, वो स्वीकार करे या ना करे उनकी बात है. Whether they accept it or not, that's another question. But you, nisankoch, without any doubt, you can give it. And then my friend told him, नहीं गुरुजी ऐसा नहीं हुआ. बात ऐसे थी महाराज कि एक बार मैं गया था एक गुफा में. I had gone to a cave in the Himalayas and there was somebody sitting there. And the person somehow knows who's coming, name and all that. So I sat with him for some time. And then while leaving, I took out some money and kept it in front of him. He was very angry. पैसा किसको देता है? रख अपने पास तेरा पैसा. Keep your money to yourself. So he was scared. Took back the money and did his pranam and left. So now he is asking this yogi, आप तो कहते हो दे दो, देना चाहिए, but उनको तो गुस्सा आया. He got angry. Immediately the yogi said, ढोंग है. गुस्सा आया तो ढोंग है, कितने भी पहुंचे हुए रहने दो, क्योंकि अभी भी अहम है. कि आपने उनके अहम को ललकारा. तुम समझते क्या हो, किसको दे रहे हो पैसा? इनडायरेक्टली इट इज सेइंग, जानता नहीं मैं कौन हूं? डोंट यू नो हु आई एम? Whom are you trying to give money to? Immediately the yogi said that. And he said that time, don't think everybody who's sitting in the caves have reached. Many of them are practicing to reach. So don't get confused in all that. So he said the one who is perfected is beyond even anger. Kam, krodh, lobh, moh, aham. Beyond all that. That's a perfected state. That is what just day before yesterday or yesterday I was talking in the live. I don't want to be called perfect. I know I'm not even close to that. Even though I'm giving these talks here. It doesn't make anybody perfect for that. Because I told you, once somebody reaches the perfect state, it will be silence. There is no talk also. The aham is so much gone out. Who will talk to who? What is the need to talk? Ramana Maharshi, that is why he used to be always silent. Dakshinamurti is always silent. The perfected beings are these. So these are all, okay, we are talking here. Good. We are sharing. We are even, without sharing, how will you even know all these tattvas? That's another thing. But I cannot consider myself perfect. And I don't consider any teacher on this earth perfect. Sorry. Because in a perfect state, there is no speech. There is no activity. That is the state of perfection. Gunas have got extinct. Gunas extinct means what? No quality left. Not even the divine quality of I am a divine being. I am doing a divine activity. I am saving the world. I am helping the world. I am doing service to mankind. It's still a sattvic quality. Gunatitam nahi hai. That is what Updeshasaram says. I am not saying it. And who in Updeshasaram said? Lord Shiva is saying this. To whom? The rishis. Where is Updeshasara coming from? It is coming from Shiva Mahapuran. It is an extract of Shiva Mahapuran. That extract which is not talked much about. You'll never hear it in any discourses. You see now also in YouTube, you see, so it is so much of Shiva Mahapuran discourses going on. You'll never hear these kind of things. It's a part of that. जो एक्चुअल में लुप्त हुआ और गुप्त हुआ. And who found it out? One disciple of Ramana was translating the Shiva Mahapuran and he came across this chapter and he says, oh my God, this is something what my guru talks about. I don't have any adhikar. I'm not worthy to translate this. Please let my guru translate. And he runs to the guru and says, this is one chapter that comes out here and it seems something that you will know deeply. I cannot know so much deeply on this. I'm a little confused on this. And Ramana looks at it and immediately he realizes what that. And he immediately says, let's make, I'll do the translation, but let's make a complete new extraction from the Shiva Mahapuran. So Ramana takes it out, the Shiva Mahapuran, this one chapter, and he calls it the Upadesha Saram. And that became a separate book in itself. Today in Ramana Ashram, you'll find it. Not just that, there are many people talking about it today. And even I began talking about it after all my Tiruvannamalai visits. Many of us have come to know about Upadesha Saram and such lupt, gupt texts which are not known in history. Shiva Leela, the same Shiva who gave Shiva Purana in the Puranas, is the same Shiva who's sitting in the Arunachala. Jagrat Shiva. Jagrat Shiva's Leela. He brought out this Upadesha Saram through Ramana Maharshi. that's the divine Leelas. And it's spreading out from there. तिरुवण्णामलाई is a place where everything is जो गुप्त गुप्त चीजें अच्छे अच्छे गुप्त चीज सब खुल जाता है उधर. सूक्ष्म जगह है. Very subtle place. You come out of Tiruvannamalai, you'll see everything gross, but near the hill you go, it's all Sukshma Tattva. Even the Shiva is in the Sukshma Tattva, he's there, Jagrat. But you come out a little out, you'll see all the Shiva has gone into temples and idols and Shivalingas, and where all, we don't know. He's identified there in the Dvait form. It's very difficult to get into Advait form when you are in the dual aspects. But you go to Tiruvannamalai, there is nothing to catch hold on to. There is no image of Shiva there. There is no Shivalinga on the Shiva. Do you know that? There is no Shivalinga there on the hill. Even go to Skandashram that is there on the top of the hill, there is no Shivalinga. And we call the hill Shiva. Isn't that funny? Down in the Arunachaleshwara temple, there is Shivalinga. That's another thing. But none of the ashram, none of the caves have those Virupakshi caves. If you go into Virupakshi cave, there is no Shivalinga. There is a heap of ash. What is that heap of ash? 800-year-old Samadhi, Jiva Samadhi of a great yogi called Virupaksha, who was from Karnataka. He left his body by burning his body there immediately. Burning means he disintegrated his body and only ash is remaining there. That is only preserved there. There is no Shivalinga. What do you have to say about this? This is that tattva that is there. The Jagrit tattva of Shiva. And very nice, there are no images, pictures, or all these things put on the hill. Because the hill himself is supposed to be that. Those who have fine tuning into their subtle properties, they will be able to tune into that Shiva. Those who are very much attached to the gross forms that I see always, worshippers and all that, it is difficult for them. I don't say they are not meant to be there, but it's very difficult for them to even feel or experience Shiva. Because the whole identity is so gross. Not just identity. Why they are unable to experience Shiva is because of the concepts that they carry. They have thousands of concepts in their mind. That Shiva looks this way, Shiva acts this way, Shiva speaks this way, Shiva dances this way. Why? Because we have seen all those serials. Fascinated by that characters. Very beautifully presented, no doubt about it. But still we have not caught the Shiva Tattva. The other day I was just watching through the reels and one thing came in. Something from that, I think Har Har Mahadev, what is that serial's name? Which was very hit. Very beautifully presented. The music is good, the concept is good, the script is good, even the representation is good, the symbolism is good, the explanation is good, the delivery is good. Everything is beautiful in it. One of the best serials. No doubt. But if you are truly on the path of Advaita, you will not get carried away with that form again. You will catch the essence, and wherever you're sitting, you will make your Shiva Jagrat inside. You will not be impressed with the forms. Too much attachment to the forms will take you away from the subtlety. You become a gross person. Yes, that's right. Devo ke Dev Mahadev. Beautiful. See, Devo ki Dev Mahadev, I was watching that day the reel, and suddenly it came up, and I said, "Wow!" But after that, wow, just in a few seconds, I said, "Oh God," because in that they showed. I have not seen the serial fully, but some episodes I could see here and there. In that they showed somebody is asking Vishnu, who is Mahadev? कौन है ये देवों के देव महादेव? Means the god of gods. And Vishnu is explaining. The first thing while he is explaining, he looks up and he goes blank. That's a beautiful expression actually. Because if somebody says, oh, he is this, he is that, then they're talking from the mind. But they showed him looking up and him going into a blank state, because now he's trying to tap and identify who's that Shiva. So when he's spreading out, the first word that he enters is देवों के देव महादेव, वो निर्गुण है, वो निराकार है. I said, wow, straight to the point. And then he gave some more explanations. But the more explanations he was giving was spoiling the whole thing, because the moment you say Nirguna, Nirakara, everything comes in that. It's the dead end. But now the continuation it goes. उनकी तेज ऐसी है, उनकी आंखें ऐसी हैं, उनका नृत्य ऐसा है. Gone. Guna has come now. Immediately you are identified now with the gunas, the looks and forms. First it went into a blanked out state of explaining what is that formless, attributeless, and then suddenly you start explaining the form. So then the whole description was given. He is this way, he looks beautiful, he is even the moon, he is even the sun. That could be understood. Like he is the moon, he is the sun, he is the air, he is the water. Yes, that is omnipresence. Beautiful. But again, when you say his dance is like this, or his form is like this, his eyes is like this, his look is like this, again it shakes up your that Nirguna Tattva. And I'm sure this is sometimes because it's made, the serials episodes are made exactly. And they have lot of human mind involvement. Whoever has made that must be at a very high level, because they have brought that tattvas beautifully, but somewhere or the other they have the that essence has lost again and again. So I was like, wow, and then I said, okay, again the same thing. Now the other aspect of it is that there is Shiva, that is Nirguna Nirakara. Now, if he is Nirguna Nirakara and if he is omnipresent, he is in everything, yes, obviously he is there in the form also. The Shiva with the form, he is there absolutely. There is no denial that he is not there. You cannot say, because if he is everywhere, then he is in that form also. So there is acceptance to the Shiva Linga, there is everything, all the other forms there is. But if we believe that way, that he is in the Advait and the Dvait also, then why it is difficult for us to believe that he is in the tree, he is in that man, he is in that dog, he is in that cat? Till there only the form we come and we stop again. But the explanation is that he is there in every tattva. He's present. That is why we say, I am Shiva. You are Shiva. Everyone is Shiva. So आधा अधूरा है, explanations वहाँ पे भी ठीक नहीं. Even if we justify, somebody justified that, he was telling, no, you are talking this way about Advaita, Nirguna. Do you think he's not there? You must be able to even appreciate the form. Because I had put that post about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, where Mahakali he is so fond of, and into the form, and now he wants to get more into the Advaita, but he's having difficulty because the mind is the concept of the Swarupa is holding him back. And Totapuri, his guru, just says, leave your concepts. You have to destroy the concept. He say, how do I destroy my concept? Take out a sword of knowledge, sword of wisdom, and cut that concept. What is the concept? That form that you see. That concept and form is the same thing. Cut that form and immediately it will go off. What does he mean with the sword? See, it is so symbolic. With the sword of your knowledge. Like what I'm saying right now is the soul of wisdom through which you eradicate these forms. Only when there is wisdom of this, somebody talks about it, or you read about it, or you hear about it, then only you know, okay, I have to go beyond this form. So he says, with the sword of that wisdom, like this wisdom, what I'm talking, that sword, that this will vanish. You don't have to actually cut it. You don't have to just destroy anything. It just means if you're aware with your wisdom, with your light of wisdom, the darkness of ignorance just goes off. That's what it simply means. So when I was saying that, they said, how you have a problem with personal God and impersonal God. What is a personal God? Personal God is a form. I have a personal Ishta. So that I call as my personal God. And there is another called impersonal God, nothing personal. And that doesn't have a form. Same thing. Formless is impersonal. With form is personal God. So somebody told me, no, you cannot do that because you're talking about my personal God. Yeah, that's your personal problem. if you have a if you have a personal God, it just means you have a personal concept, and that becomes your personal problem. That is your personal problem to liberate from that. So you're holding on to it as my personal problem, my personal God. It becomes a personal problem. So letting go of that form is a major challenge. That I can do with the wisdom of knowledge, of this wisdom, of this tattva that I'm talking. This is that wisdom of breaking through the form and entering into the formless, of breaking through the gunas, gunatitam, going beyond the gunas into the nirguna. So what I'm trying to tell today in today's session is that if you have too much of concepts, that concepts will prevent you 100% from going into what is beyond the concept, because you cannot fathom a world beyond the concepts. Your whole world is conceptualized. Your whole spirituality is conceptualized. Everything you have concept, something or the other. You take the guru, you have hundreds of concepts about the guru. You take a religion, you have hundreds of concepts. You take a shastra, you have hundreds of philosophies and concepts. You take a sadhana or a method, you have so many concepts. Everything is concepts. And there is a fight between the concept. Which concept is better? So that's all that's happening. And when we get too involved in this concept, we get stuck. We get confused. Many people say it's not working. I do this concept. I do that concept. Whole day I'm doing this one concept. Then afternoon I do this concept. Evening I do this concept. And now I'm listening to your concept. So confusing. Definitely, where you build up so many concepts, it's going to be confusing. Concepts are burden. The track of awareness is dropping the concepts, because here concepts doesn't work. When you enter into a state of awareness, whoever has witnessed it, is there any concept? I might talk so much about the hill, Holy Arunachala, but when you sit there, there is no concept. Ask the people who have experienced that. We were there so many times, so many people. There was a mother and lady who came from Mauritius, Shiva Bhaktas. First time they came. No idea about anything. 20-day trip, and they came. And suddenly we met in Oro Usha. I had come to talk to Ushaji, and they were sitting there, mother, and they were like, "Oh, wow, we saw you, and come sit," and we talked. And then they said, "We were just worried and planning what to do. We don't know with this 20 days. So good you have come. Please guide." I said, okay, fine. Then I talked about these kind of things, simple things about Tiruvannamalai, what you got to do. There is nothing much to do there, Devans. I never advise anybody to do a lot of things there. It is not a sightseeing place. Again, I am telling you repeatedly. It might be good for the pilgrims. Pilgrims who go on pilgrim yatra, Tirth yatra, unke liye it's a visiting place, it's a sightseeing place. You go to see how bhavya the temple is, how big the bells are, how old the walls are, how huge the Shivlinga is, which year was this built, which Maharaja built this, and the divine glory of that place and all that. Good for them. But that is not for seekers of Advaita. That is not for seekers of liberation, because again you are getting caught up in new concepts. Concepts about the temples, and who built it, and how it was built, and Mahima. Mahima is again a concept. Mahima means the greatness of that. Mahima was introduced into our scriptures to instill faith in you, to instill an inspiration in you. So you see the glory of it. That's all that the work of Mahima is. Nothing beyond it. Mahima will not give you anything apart from this. Mahima cannot give you mukti. Mahima can give you a direction towards mukti. You have to understand all these things. So there is nothing to sit and say, wow, let me go here, go there, and enjoy here, enjoy there. If you are a person of enjoyment, then you are in the bhoga. Please understand this very clearly. If still there are attractions and luring happening in your mind and being, then all these things can be done wherever we are in the world. We don't need Tiruvannamalai for that. We can fulfill all those needs here also. If we go there, it's not that the gods are going to get upset with us. Or it's not that we are fooling the gods there. We are fooling ourselves. We are wasting precious time. That's all. And we are creating more complications, more complexities into our own path. Who's going to clear that for you? You yourself. So if we are fascinated and we are habituated to digging the pit and covering up the pit and call it moksha, fantastic. Somebody gave a beautiful explanation of what we do with moksha. Because Ramana always said, you are already mukta. You are already self-realized. There is nothing to attain. As self-realization is not somewhere far. It is not a goal that you go and attain. Self is here. And that realization of the self also is here. Only there is a cloud of the ego that has come up there, which is filled with karmas and confusions and doubts and obstacles. You remove this layer, it will be revealed to you that you are already self-realized. But what do we do in spirituality, modern spirituality? You are here on the ground, you are already free. You are free standing here, you are free. But then you start digging. Digging and you create a hole. It's a hole, deep hole. Then you go down, digging, 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 digging. Now you have gone deep down. Who is this person digging? An unconscious being. Digging their own grave, this is called. You go on digging, 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 digging. And when you reach down to the bottom, you say, oh my God, it's so up. How am I going to dare that? Then you start struggling, you start screaming, and you are in panic, and then you are in desperation. You want to get out as soon as possible. And then all the struggle. See, then the spiritual journey begins here. Who's digging this? The Gyanta, the ignorant being, through their karmas and all that, they're digging their own, through many janmas. They're going on digging, and the day they go down, and the day it goes on forever. It might go 10 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet, till you realize, till you awaken. And the day you awaken, you say, where am I digging? Where am I? And then you look up, oh, light is up there. I need to go up. And that is when your spiritual journey begins. Then you start to catch on to this ladder, that stone, this root, techniques, methods, paths, all these concepts, then you catch and somehow you try to make it out. And with all that huff and panting, oh, God knows how many janmas again it will take. Slowly, 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 some janma will come up till there, and then again you will feel that I need to go down. Strange attraction there. So you leave the grip, you tumble down again. While you're tumbled down, suddenly hosh aa gaya. Then you again try to catch grip of some roots or something. If you catch good, otherwise you are gone down again. And if the moment you catch, then again there is a struggle to move up. This moving up is what we call as methods, techniques, sadhana, tapasya, meditation, dhyan, yoga, whatever you call it. And what I am speaking is, while you are climbing bodhana, climb in consciousness, climb in awareness, suddh buddh mein, be awake, मुर्दे जैसा नहीं चढ़ो, पूरे होशो आवाज में चढ़ो, in full consciousness. Because if you see something down there, your consciousness will tell, no, my journey is there, up there. I've had enough lessons, enough troubles going down deep the pit. Now I'm going back. Only a person in awareness will not leave the roots, will not suffer. Those who live an unaware life, those who think they are in awareness, but they are not really in, will go down. And who's going to struggle? They themselves. It's a pitiful condition. Pitiable condition. That is why I sometimes get bugged up when I see this nonsense, all this kind of nonsense. I just ask this question, haven't we learned enough now? Then I say, who am I to question? If somebody wants to learn, their wish, free will. We cannot. We can only guide. That's all that our work is. Show the light, tell and make aware, that's it. Results are up to them. Who does what? Anyways, I was talking about this pit. Now this pit who dug? Who asked you to dig the pit? Let's say you come out. You come out finally in the last space, and you come out and you see light and you are so free. I don't know how many janmas or how many years you have been struggling, and finally you are free and you shout your yell out, your lungs out. I'm free. That's self-realization. That's all good. Now all this is good. Now what I'm telling you is, who asked you to dug the pit? Who asked you to dig the pit? So most games in modern spirituality is, we dig pits where it is not needed. Most foolishness. Those who are awake can see that. Oh, there goes, somebody is digging another pit. Somebody is digging another pit means somebody is setting up a business there. You create a pit and then you create solutions for it. Wow. You dig pits and then you create solutions for it. Like there are so many products in this market. First the problem is created and then the solution is given. It went to such an extent that even during the pandemic time, it was said that some certain medicines were made, but before the medicines were made, the disease was created. Because the disease is created, the medicine will sell. So, to sell the medicine, I create a disease. This is nothing different. The concepts of attaining liberation, attaining self-realization is just this. What is there to attain when you're already in that? This is what Ramana says, you're already in that state. But we dig a pit. When we dig a pit, definitely we want to go somewhere and attain it back. That's all that is. These pits are concepts. So it's all the double work that's happening. We itself forget now, for example, we clearly know our destination is Nirakara. Nirguna Nirakara we know. That's the destination. Then if we know that is the destination, why is our fascination still with the guna and akara? One question I would like to ask. If you know the solution is there, why is this thing stuck in the concepts so strongly? Why cannot one see beyond it? That is the weakness of human beings. The weakness called conditions. These conditions are built from your whole lifetime, because from bachpan say somebody has taught you this, taught you that. This is right. Concepts and concepts and concepts. Only told about concepts, and these concepts are not experiential. Sorry. Nobody has experience about this. If I ask you, do you know God? First, you will be little startled. Now also, I'm asking you, have you seen God? No. Do you know God? Question mark. Do you believe in God? You will say yes, without a doubt. See, when I asked, do you believe in God? You said yes. मान्यता है, हम मानते हैं. When I asked, do you know God? आप जानते हो भगवान को? You'll think for a while. Because आप जानते नहीं हो उनको. आप देखे हो उनको? You'll say no. आप मानते हो उनको? You'll say yes. Do you believe in it? I'll say yes. Concepts. This is a proof that you're living in concepts. What is manyata? Concepts. Who has told Shiva looks in this manner? Some concept. Have you seen him? Who has said Jesus looks like this? Who has seen Ram? Who has seen Krishna? Who was there? Anybody there from that time? Artist? Any painting come from that time, that era? Nothing is there. Kalpana. Somebody's painting, somebody's depiction got ingrained into the society, and that society taught you this is how God looks, and this is what you believe in God. From the childhood, I was seeing Jesus Christ as a beautiful, blue-eyed, long hair, handsome, and great mustache and beard, brown hair, and a fair complexion, tall, handsome man walking. And I was fascinated whenever I looked into that. I said, my role model. My children of my age was fond of Spider-Man, but he was my man. And then over a period of time, when I grew up in adulthood, I came to know that people are exposing this and telling Jesus never looked like that. No, I couldn't believe it. Who cares? I still was fascinated to the concept. Have I seen Jesus? No. Somebody drew a kalpana. They drew about him. I believed in that. Because from bachpan se I've got identified with that. Hard not to believe. Then I said somebody is fooling. Don't take them seriously. Then the talks became very serious. The simple talks was, common sense talk was, Jesus was a Jew. He was a Jew. Jewish people don't have fair complexion. He's not a white man. Simple concept. Jewish people are all dark people. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, brought up in Nazareth, traveled in Jerusalem, all those areas, Jewish places, with Jewish people. So it was a clear-cut thing that no, he doesn't look like that. Even the Jesus that you see right now in the posters and all that, that's not the way he looked. And I'm sure he must not be in a very handsome man, because we like handsomeness. All our heroes should be handsome. I'm telling you, if the real Jesus picture releases today, nobody will have a second look at it. You look at Shirdi Sai Baba. Look at the original picture. Which would you prefer? You will still prefer the modern images. The beautiful white man sitting in glorious look. The Sai Baba of that. Looks very charming and attractive. But you look at the original picture of Sai Baba. Hard to believe. And you will not be fascinated by it, because we are beauty people. We like only beauty and glamour. नाउ यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्लैमर. हमारी आंखों में ग्लैमर है, इसलिए ग्लैमर चीजें ही हमको दिखती है. वी आर अट्रैक्टेड एंड फैसिनेटेड ओनली बाय ग्लैमर अनकॉन्शियसली. उसको देखने की परखने की भी हिम्मत नहीं है हमें, because that is that strong condition that is there. So all the vikritis, all the akaras that you see, even that you're so impressed about Ram, Krishna, Nanak Sahib and Shiva, nobody has seen. That is a big catch, I'm telling you, big catch. Because if Shiva comes, you will not be able to recognize him. If Krishna comes, you will not recognize him, because your image is the calendar image. That is what you think God is. So if you want to see a Shiva, I'm sure even those who go to Kailash, they want to see Shiva. They are expecting him to come and sit in that form or see him in that form. And a dog might pass by, Shiva himself you will not recognize. You might kick that dog. A beggar might go by, an old lady might go by, an ugly man might go by. We are fascinated with that image, calendar image. इतनी मूर्ता है, so much of stuckness this is. And I'm telling you, if the real Shiva appears in the real form that you feel, the calendar image also, you'll doubt that person. You'll say, ये कोई वेशभूषा डाल के तो नहीं है, शिवा ऐसे कैसे आ सकते हैं? You might even ask the gods for some identity proof. What is the proof that you're God? This is our murta. This is our belief system. This is what our concepts and conditions can do to us. We are not aware of it. Blindly, we are in some fascination. नारे लगाओ बस अपने भगवान की. This is the ego. नारे लगाना. It is very difficult for such people to enter into Advaita. You will see that. Mark my words. You can check it out right now also. Anybody, if you have that murta, it's very difficult. You cannot get into निराकार. समझ ही नहीं आएगा निराकार क्या है. कॉन्सेप्ट है, हमारे गुरु ने बोला है, कहीं किसी ने बोला है, पता है, निराकार निर्गुण है क्या? अनुभव कर सकते हो क्या? मुश्किल है. चलो उस गुफा में चलो, वहां बैठते हैं, वो तत्व जागृत है. चलो उस पहाड़ पे चलो, तत्व जागृत है. They will come and sit with me and they'll scratch. They'll look around. इधर कुछ है ही नहीं क्या? क्या चाहिए आपको? शिवलिंग नहीं है क्या? वहां देखो जाके बैठो. हाँ शिवलिंग दिखा. They will go and they will do पूजा there. एक तृप्ति है बस उतना. What can you do? Can you merge with that शिवलिंग? नहीं, इससे कैसे मर्ज हो सकता है? What is शिव मानस पूजा? ये भी आपके गुरु ने ही तो सिखाया है. आदि शंकराचार्य ने जो बताया, कभी किया है जिंदगी में? नहीं. निराकार की पूजा थोड़ा, हाँ ऐसे बताओ. आकार में फंसे तो निराकार में जा नहीं सकते, और असली मुक्ति निराकार में है. यू हैव टू ट्रांसेंड द फॉर्म. ये तो रामकृष्ण परमहंस जी का मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ. इवन एट दैट स्टेट दैट कंप्लीटनेस वाज नॉट देयर. निराकार, दैट वननेस, अद्वैत फीलिंग जब तक नहीं आए, इट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. व्हाट मोर प्रूफ डू वी नीड ऑन दैट वी आर कंडीशनड वेरी बैडली? ये जो भी कॉन्सेप्ट्स हम लेके आए, किसी के सुने सुनाए हुए चीजें हैं, रट्टा मारे हुए. ये हमारी एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है. जितने भी टीचिंग्स हमको बाय हार्ट है, ये हमारी एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट आवर एक्सपीरियंस. समबडी एल्सेस एक्सपीरियंस, समबडी एल्सेस टीचिंग्स. गुरु ने सिखाया, गुरु को बोध हुआ इसलिए उन्हें सिखाया. लेकिन मेरी प्रयास क्या है? सुन के उसको रट्टा मारूं, या वही मैं भी प्रयास करके उनको जो एक्सपीरियंस हुआ मैं भी वो एक्सपीरियंस करूं? शिष्यत्व किस में है? यू फाइंड आउट. concepts, all concepts, hundreds and thousands of concepts. छींक मारो कॉन्सेप्ट, पॉटी करने जाओ तो भी एक कॉन्सेप्ट, नहाने का एक कॉन्सेप्ट. एवरीथिंग हैज गॉट अ कॉन्सेप्ट. यू सी इन योर लाइफ, यू आर लिविंग इन अ बंडल ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट्स. इसमें से छुटकारा पाना आसान नहीं है जब तक आपको इसका बोध नहीं. एंड दैट बोध इज व्हाट आई कॉल अवेयरनेस. When you move into awareness, you are beyond concepts. You must start living more in awareness and not in concepts. That is why I titled today's live as awareness is zero concept, but full attention. Attention on what? Your awareness. It's all about where attention you're putting. That's all. That's the only knowledge that you have here. What is the only knowledge that I give while I'm practicing? Become aware of. Period. This is the sutra, this is the Maha Mantra, this is everything here. Become aware of. That's it. Even when you are sitting idle and you want to become aware of, something inside you says, become aware of. And when you become aware of, you become that which you are aware of. If you become aware of your mind, you become aware of all that things in your mind, then you become that nonsense which is there in the mind. If you become aware of your gunas, you become your gunas. If you become aware of your form or the God's form, you become just that form. That's all. What the form can give? Form is ego. I can prove that to you. Don't be very happy if you're connected to a form and are a big devotee. You watch very carefully. Whenever you connect to the form, what happens? वहां फॉर्म में टीका लगा, आप भी टीका लगाओगे, टीके का एक अलग घमंड आएगा. मोमेंट शुरू हो गया, आकार शुरू हो गया, गुणास. टीका लगाते ही गुण आ गया कि मैं फलाना धर्म का, मैं इस भगवान को मानता हूं, मैं इस रंग को मानता हूं, मैं श्रेष्ठ हूं, बाकी सब धर्म नीचे हैं. As a big aham that takes over the moment you have some identification. That is what Karnakar Swami told, that Avadhuta told one of my friend. हम लोग दर्शन लेने गए थे, उनका रोज का वो कॉन्सेप्ट था, टीका लगाओ, भगवत टीका. उसके बिना वो निकलते ही नहीं थे कमरे से. सब कुछ भी करो, कहीं भी जाओ, टीका लगा. उस दिन भी वो टीका लगा के किसके सामने गए? अवधूत के सामने, जो सारे टीकाओं से टीका का टीका करते हैं. नग्न अवधूत के पास कोई भी अलंकार लेके नहीं जाना, धज्जियां उड़ाएंगे वो. Don't go in front of an avduta with any of your concept. They'll blow it and throw it back on your face. Any concept. They are beyond all that. So this guy went and bowed down to him with the tika, and Karnakar Swami looked and told that ये जो टीका है इसको यहाँ लगा, इधर नहीं, इधर लगा अंदर. मतलब that bhakti which you have, that bhakti should be here. ये demonstration के लिए नहीं है. ये किसको दिखाने की कोशिश कर रही है? किसको दिखाने की क्या चेष्टा हो रही है? किसको प्रसन्न करने की कोशिश करो? कोई भगवान प्रसन्न नहीं होता इससे. भगवान को लेना देना ही नहीं. ये गुण है, वो गुणातीत है. ये हमारी मूर्ता है. इस अज्ञान पे जब प्रकाश डालते हैं और जो खुलता है उसको अवेयरनेस बोलते हैं. यू बिकम अवेयर ऑफ ऑल दिस थिंग्स सडनली, एंड यू कैन ओनली ड्रॉप द कॉन्सेप्ट्स व्हेन यू आर अवेयर. यू कैन नॉट ड्रॉप द कॉन्सेप्ट्स इफ यू आर अनकॉन्शियस. इसलिए बेहोशी में जो जीते हैं, बेहोशी में जो साधना करते हैं, बेहोशी में जो पथ चलते हैं, उनको समझ ही नहीं आता कि क्या कर रहे हैं. कर रहे हैं, करवाया जा रहा है, कर रहे हैं, बस. दो ही चीज है, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, ओनली टू थिंग्स. लोभ या भय है. लोभ है कि इफ आई डू दिस, ग्रीड, देयर इज अ ग्रीड, आई विल गेट समथिंग, सम बेनिफिट. तो बेनिफिट मिलने के लिए आई एम डूइंग दैट अनकॉन्शियसली. और देयर इज अ फियर, भय है कि कुछ खो ना जाए, कुछ हो ना जाए. that something should not happen to me. I fear कि ये नहीं किया तो वो हो जाएगा, वो नहीं किया तो ये हो जाएगा, ऐसे दोष लगेगा, वो लगेगा. कॉन्सेप्ट्स लगा लगेगा, किसी को पता भी नहीं हुआ है क्या तुमको? नहीं, किसी और को हुआ है. या यूर, इट्स अ बोरोड कॉन्सेप्ट. Somebody has believed in something, they have told you that, they have passed on that information, legacy they have passed on, and now that legacy you have borrowed, and you live your whole life with all that superstition, and then you pass it on to your child. बच्चों को दे देते हैं। कृपा करके दे देना नहीं, हाथ जोड़ता हूं आपके पास, बच्चों में नहीं डालना है। ये मूर्ता तुम में ही लास्ट रहे और तुमसे ही मर जाए। प्लीज डोंट pollute द चिल्ड्रन, they are all blossoming flowers, innocent beings, divine beings। अब देखो, परसों कियारा का मैंने एक ये डाला था, वीडियो डाला था। लुक एट देम, द इनोसेंस ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन। हमेशा एक चेहरे पे उसका देखो, क्यूट सी, एंड ऑलवेज डिवाइन, ऑलवेज अ स्माइल स्टक ऑन आवर फेस। कितना मुश्किल है हमको स्टिक करना। एंड देयर वो फूल अपने आप खिला हुआ है, खिला हुआ फूल है वो, फ्रेग्रेंट, खाली है, खुला है और खिला है। द तरीक है, खाली है इसलिए तो भगदौड़, कोई ये नहीं है। कुत्तों के साथ भी एक, जानवरों के साथ भी एक। उसको कुछ पता नहीं है कौन सा अच्छा कौन सा बुरा, क्या स्ट्रेंजर क्या ये। उसके आंखों में दिव्यता है बस, फ्रीडम है। देखो कितना फ्री है, कितना हंसी आती है, कितनी निर्मल है, कितनी प्रसन्न चित्त है। और हमको क्या क्या करना पड़ता है, कितनी साधना करनी, कितनी तपस्या, कितने एक टांग पे शीर्षासन, कौन से क्या क्या योगा करना पड़ता है अपने को प्रसन्न होने के लिए, एक अच्छे से मुस्कुराहट देने के लिए। और ये देखो खिले हुए हैं बाय डिफॉल्ट, झूम रहे हैं, कोई कॉन्सेप्ट्स नहीं है भी तो अभी हमने डाला जो बच्चों के दिमाग में, जो स्कूल्स डालते हैं, टीचर्स डालते हैं, पेरेंट्स डालते हैं, वो शुरू हो गया अभी उनको सीखना। She's always talking about moons and galaxies and stars and sun all the time. I asked, why are you talking about all this? All the time you're talking about sun, the moon, and all this. She says, because sun is love. Heart is love. She says, heart is love and love is sun. All the time she's drawing hearts. कुछ भी draw करो बोलो heart, उसको उतना ही आता है heart. Even when she was buying that board, इतनी simple, she walked into the store and she saw that board and she liked it. तुरंत मेरी तरफ देखे, आपके पास पैसे हैं? I said है, मुझे ये चाहिए, मैं लेना है। I said okay, go ahead. मैं said what will you do with that? She said heart. Draw an heart. समझ में नहीं, और पूरा हार्ट सी ड्रॉ कर रही थी। What is there in this heart? She says heart is love and the sun is love. These are divine talks which we cannot do. और हम इनको सिखाते हैं। अरे हमको बैठ के इनके चरणों में बैठ के हमको सीखना चाहिए। देखिए हमारा अहम मानेगा नहीं, हमारा अहंकार, हमारी मूर्ता, हमारी एरोगेंस इतनी है कि हम बोलते हैं कि हम सीनियर्स हैं। बहुत हमने दुनिया देखी है, तू क्या दुनिया देखी है, अभी तू आया है। अरे दुनिया देखना है तो देखो उनके अंदर, दुनिया क्या ब्रह्मांड छुपा है, देखो उनके अंदर, झांक के देखने की तो कोशिश करो। दिस इज व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग हर मदर आल्सो, डिवाइन चाइल्ड, दिस इज ब्लेस्ड चाइल्ड, खिला हुआ है ऑल द टाइम। There are other children, but I have not seen somebody who's all the time smiling, simply for no reason smiling. Anything you ask, you don't ask, you look, even you give a look, your smile is there. Look at that video, it is there in my post, Jake Light profile में, सभी में डाल दिया, इंस्टाग्राम में भी है, यूट्यूब में भी, इसमें भी है। लास्ट 2-3 days it is there. You get, and I felt so happy. मैं सत्य बोलता हूँ, एक संत के साथ रहो, एक बच्चों के साथ रहो, एक ही है, कोई फर्क नहीं। घंटों घंटों उनके साथ रह सकते, उनके साथ बातचीत, उनकी जो बातें हैं, सरल सिंपल टॉक्स दैट दे हैव, divinity is there in them. So please, your legacies, I'm talking to many parents because there are many parents I know here who have children. I'm talking to all those parents. Please कृपया करके उनको pollute मत कीजिए। आप polluted हो चुके हो, मानो इस चीज को, और अपनी धुलाई करो, धुलाई करो। और जो आए हैं नए जनरेशन्स, उनको ऐसे ही रहने दो, उनसे सीखो, उनको टिकिया जैसा इस्तेमाल करो अपनी इम्प्योरिटीज धोने के लिए। मूर्खता हम में रही, अज्ञानता रही, एरोगेंस रही, तो वी विल पास दिस टू दैट चिल्ड्रन। और फिर हम ही प्रयास लेके बैठते हैं, कंसर्न होके बैठते हैं। वी विल बी कंसर्न अबाउट दीज चिल्ड्रन, what about their future, what will happen to them and how they will be, and all. They are already liberated. गुलाम मत बनाओ उनको, don't put them into prisons. I was so happy to see that their parents are kept that child blossomed. ज्यादा कुछ ये नहीं है थोड़ा बहुत ठीक है, बट उतना नहीं है जितना मैं दूसरों घरों में देखता हूँ। दूसरों घरों में तो स्लेवरी चलता है, एक एक घर में। माय गॉड, बच्चे को इतना गुलाम जैसे बना के, ए चाय पीने का टाइम हो गया, ले चाय पी, मुझे नहीं चाहिए, एक घुसार दे इसको, चाय पीनी ही चाहिए। अरे चाय, तुमको लत लगी है यार चाय की, यू आर एडिक्टेड टू दैट टी एंड दैट custom of yours, that concept of yours, now you want to feed it into this child। उसको नहीं चाहिए, छोड़ दो, बख्श दो ना बेचारे की जान को। अभी दूध पीना ही है, इतना ही पीना है, वैसे ही पीना है, ऐसे ही पीना है, और फिर वैसे ही खाना है, ओवर ईटिंग। अरे उसको चारने वाला में बस हो गया, छोड़ दो ना, उसका जान क्यों छोड़ दो। नहीं नहीं, यू डोंट नो, अरे यू डोंट नो जेकब इज नॉट ईटिंग वेल, तो आई हैव टू टेक अ टेक, यू डोंट नो एनीथिंग। एंड वही माँ आधे घंटे बाद बोलती है, जेकब इसका पेट निकल रहा, मैं क्या करूं। क्या बताएं मूर्ता को। Incapable parents to handle children. I don't know why they are produced if you don't know to handle them. Just because हमारी कुछ डिजायर्स हैं, हम लाते हैं इन बच्चों को, हमारी कुछ इच्छाएं पूर्ति करने के लिए, और उनका ख्याल भी ठीक से नहीं कर सकते। ख्याल कैसे करें, हम ही अपनी अज्ञानता से निकले नहीं है, हम ही फंसे हैं इन सब कॉन्सेप्ट्स में। हमारा ही फंडा क्लियर नहीं है यहाँ पे, हम क्या क्लैरिटी देंगे इनको। बी वेरी केयरफुल वॉट एवर यू डू इन द विसिनिटी ऑफ चिल्ड्रन। खराब लगता है जब उनको देखे, खड्डा खोद रहे हैं हम लोग, पिट्स, दे आर फ्री, गड्ढे खोद रहे हैं, उन गड्ढे में डाल रहे हैं उनको, और फिर बोल रहे हैं लाइफ इज अ वेरी चैलेंजिंग प्लेस, इट्स अ वेरी कॉम्पिटिटिव फील्ड, यू हैव टू स्ट्रगल टू डू दिस, आपको ऐसी मुशक्कत करनी पड़ेगी, ये करनी पड़ेगी, यू हैव टू बी नंबर वन। रैट रेस में लगा दो उनको, और जब उसमें बुरी तरह से फंस जाते हैं, उस खड्डे में जिसको आपने खोदा है, तो रोते बैठते हो फिर। हाइट्स हाइट्स ऑफ इग्नोरेंस, ये सब कहाँ से आ रही है, ये कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपके, ये जो मूर्ता है, सब सब जो भरे पड़े हैं दिमाग के अंदर। स्वयं भी हम जा नहीं पाते अपनी अध्यात्म में, स्वयं भी हम भीतर डीपली नहीं जा सकते, फंसे हुए हैं। इट एजिटेट्स मी व्हेन इट कम्स टू दीज चिल्ड्रन, बिकॉज ऐसे ही करके जनरेशन खराब होते हैं, ऐसे करके हमारे जनरेशन खराब हुई है। हम जो यहाँ बैठे हैं अभी, अटके हुए हैं, ये किसी और की, हमारी जो ऊपर की जनरेशन है, उनका देन है ये। क्योंकि वो उनमें क्लैरिटी नहीं थी, दे डिडंट हैव क्लैरिटी, दे पास्ड इट ऑन टू अस, दे पास्ड देयर पेन टू अस, either through DNA or through the emotions or through conditions or through patterns or whatever. But they have successfully passed it down to us. And if we don't awaken, this generation does sure shot. It is a pass it on game. We die in bondage and we gift our children bondage and go. Which is better? Dying in bondage and gifting them bondage, or dying in freedom and gifting them freedom? उसके लिए पहले हम फ्री होना पड़ता है। उसलिए ऋषि गुरुकुलम also, when they were talking, parents are talking something, teachers are talking something, and students were there, I said leave them alone, जो करना है करो, ज्ञान आपको चाहिए, उनको नहीं। You have to learn first, Now also my friend Lieutenant Colonel from Kashmir, who's arranging a satsang there in April or May, whatever he's doing. So he sent a message today, will you be able to speak to children? 8th, 9th, 10th. I said, wonderful. If they are ready, the schools are, whatever it is, we can. Because that is a stage again where they are half polluted. Damage can be reversed till there are chances of reversing it. Parents have done enough harm to them. Society and schools have done enough harm to them by the time they are in their 10th grades. There is a chance of revival there, retracing back. But if they go beyond that, it might become too late. Very difficult to come back after that. How do I know this? Personal experience. Been there, done all that. Seen the clutches of all the conditions, how difficult it is. And when I'm out of it, I can talk and it can happen. So children, when they are younger only, it is easier to reverse them. And these are the same children who get into habits, addictions, this and that. All that you fear your children will get into is coming because of these concepts only that you are daily adding into. Or you or your teachers or your world is adding to them. They don't deserve this kind of place. इसलिए मैं जितना recommend करता हूँ, मैं बोलता हूँ जाओ ऋषि गुरुकुलम जाओ आप लोग. नहीं तो गूगल में go and search ऋषि गुरुकुलम in Google and go there. You'll come to know what those. Go to such kind of schools. It might not be exactly the ऋषि time का जो परंपरा का है, but that cannot be helped because we are living in a modern world. But to a large extent, very, very extremely large extent, children can be saved. Or if you have some children, you need information, write to me. I'll direct you to the right person there. Go and stay there with your children for 2-3 days. See how the other children live. See how the environment is. Parents also can stay there with the children. There is provision. एक parent या दो parent, both of them can stay with the children and nourish them and make them grow. Even 10 years and any age is welcome. First standard, fifth standard, seventh, whatever. That doesn't matter. And if you are unable to go there, they have something called spiritual parents. Other parents are there who look after other children. They'll take care. That's the methodology they have followed. Biological parents are not the spiritual parent, but at least tattva bodh hai unko. The teachings of a great master is the Rishi Prabhakar ji ka teachings hai. And Manoj ji, whatever he is doing, all those teachings are there. So there is some clarity there. And there is some hope there. ये जो इतना घबराहट होती है आपको कि they might get polluted, this might happen, that might happen. There is no chance of all that. Because they take care of all those things. Mobile addictions and all that. You cannot have because there is no mobile there only. There is no usage. पहली बात तो टावर्स ही नहीं है वहाँ पे ठीक से. सिर्फ वाईफाई चलती है और वाईफाई तो जिसके पास पासवर्ड है उनकी ही चलेगी. Here you can't. Because here you are the one who's giving the mobile in the hand. And then you blame the children addict हुए. It is your helplessness that you can't avoid to give them that. कुछ तो आकांक्षा, कुछ तो थोड़ा ये, कुछ तो होने दो, कुछ तो एक कंफर्ट, कुछ तो एक लाडलापन, कुछ तो कारण से आप देते हो हाथ में, देख फिर वो बन जाती है. और फिर आप मोबाइल को ब्लेम करके फायदा नहीं. Why? Because I am addicted to mobile. मैं कोई पाप का दूल्हा नहीं हूँ, दूध का दूल्हा नहीं हूँ. I have all the problems with my children has. And look at our audacity. We will tell the children is doing that. Children is doing. इतना झूठ बोलता है जैसे मैं बहुत सत्य हरिश्चंद्र हूँ. Where is all that samskar coming from? Grabbing from their, pulling it from their environments. We won't take responsibility for that. Why? Because we are conditioned. Where the conditions come, these concepts that we are holding on so tight to, bodh hi nahi hai. That's why I'm teaching bodh. Ude aisa. Let it explode and that awareness explode and what am I doing? होश आ जाए. इसलिए बार बार लगातार कितने महीने सालों से यही बात कर रहा हूं. जितने भी सुन पाते हैं, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू इवन लिसन टू दिस। हमको ग्लैमर स्पिरिचुअलिटी बहुत प्रिय है कि ग्लैमर थिंग्स चलचलाहट देर एकदम, और वो सब इसी में डुबाए रखते हैं अपने को। कॉन्सेप्ट्स, और 4 कॉन्सेप्ट ठोक दो, और एक 10-20 ठोक दो, और हम कॉन्सेप्ट्स के अधीन और कॉन्सेप्ट्स भर लो। कभी प्रयत्न ये नहीं होता, नेवर देर इज एन अटेम्प्ट टू कम आउट ऑफ ऑल दिस, लिबरेट ऑफ ऑल दिस। तो जिसके अंदर तीव्र इच्छा है टू लिबरेट ऑफ ऑल दिस कॉन्सेप्ट, ओनली कैन लिसन टू दिस। नहीं तो वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल टॉक्स है, हु केयर्स हाउ अनकंफर्टेबल इट इज। Coming back to the point is all about the concepts. If you cannot abolish the concepts, don't have very high hopes of liberating. Liberation, mukti itself means from the concept. Mukti from all these concepts. Where is the concepts? I'm repeating again. Concepts is all in your mind. No concept means no mind. No mind means no concept. The simple funda is when you are in awareness, there is no mind. No mind means no concepts. That is what I'm simply telling. If you move into awareness, there is no mind. There is no concepts. So people who live in awareness, there is very little concept or no concept at all. इनका कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं होता। इसलिए मैं बोला आपके अंदर ऐसे तत्व चल शुरू हो जाता है, यू विल स्टार्ट हैविंग सच काइंड ऑफ क्वालिटीज इन यू व्हिच डोंट अडेयर टू एनी काइंड ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट्स। लुक हियर, आई एम टॉकिंग राइट नाउ। What kind of concepts am I holding on to? Only the final concepts, which is going to be my final liberation. That is the concepts of all these. Simple concepts of mukti, of awareness, and shifting into awareness, being in awareness. Those are the only concept, but that concept also will go one day. Final concept. It has come to that. It has narrowed down, filtered to this. It was huge concepts once upon a time. But you should have the courage to narrow it one by one, one by one. Let go of everything one by one. Then only you come to what you have in hand. You can 100% focus on that. If you are spread out, your attention is spread out in 100 different concepts, your bits and pieces anywhere, na ghar ka na ghat ka. You are scattered everywhere. So many concepts, and all these concepts are so conflicting. अभी भी देखो, when I take personal sessions, there are so much of conflict inside. ऐसे भी बात करेंगे, वैसे भी बात करेंगे, and they are not even aware कि ऐसे भी हो रहा है, वैसे भी हो रहा है. They will strongly still say, नहीं, I'm right here. But then they will talk the opposite and they'll say, I'm right here. ये भूल के कि वो पहले थोड़ी देर पहले बोले थे. Then I tell them, Ari, you are told this. Oh, then that I have learned it this way only. Then what is this? Oh, I didn't think about it. Yeah, this is your conflicting concepts. Concepts भी बराबर का नहीं है. Like yesterday I was talking about one concept कि दर्शन हो तो प्रसन्न हो जाओ, भगवान आपको दर्शन दे तो प्रसन्न हो जाओ. That's your encouragement on the path of liberation. Liberation के लिए आप दर्शन देखो. You have the darshan of God. Whereas the actual concept is that liberation means no mind. मन से मुक्ति ही मुक्ति है. मन में संसार है, मन में माया है, मन ही अहंकार है, और ये पूरा बंडल ही अपने को त्यागना है फॉर मोक्ष. सो व्हेन यू लिव इन द माइंड, you are not in awareness. If you are in awareness, you are in no mind. And the moment you come into the mind, you are not in awareness. You are not in mukti. Mind means no mukti. संसार, माया, वासना, भोग. मुक्ति मीन्स इससे मुक्ति. अब आप बोल रहे हो दर्शन. दर्शन कहाँ होता है? माइंड में होता है. इट इज ऑन अ माइंड प्लेन, मनोमय कोश से होता है. तो यू आर गेटिंग फैसिनेटेड बाय द माइंड एंड यू आर टेलिंग यू आर वॉकिंग द पाथ ऑफ लिबरेशन. कितना विपरीत है. एक तो आप माइंड से निकलने की बात करो लिबरेशन के लिए, या माइंड में घुसे रहने की बात करो. दोनों आप कैसे बात कर सकते हो? इंटरनल, ये बाहर से बड़ा ग्लैमरस लगता है ये सब बातें, बहुत अच्छा लगता है, बट इफ यू पेनिट्रेट एंड डीपली डाइसेक्ट इनटू इट, यू विल सी हॉचपॉच है. दिस इज बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव क्लैरिटी ऑन व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग. इट्स अ फिलॉसफी. कहीं से बॉदर कर लिया, यहाँ से बुक पढ़ लिया, वहां से यूट्यूब देख लिया, यहाँ से किसी चार लोगों को सुन लिया, उसको पूरा खिचड़ी बना के मैंने एक प्रश्न, एक लेक्चर दे दिया। ऑल borrowed concepts. You look at today's speakers very carefully, you'll see that at least 30-40% of their talks are coming from Osho, and some 10-20% from some life coach, some 20% from some shastras, and the remaining percent from what they have inherited. हचपच है। और गौर से अगर आप क्वेश्चन पूछो, तालमेल नहीं रहता इनका सब कॉन्सेप्ट्स का। तो ये बाहर से देखने को बड़ा ग्लैमरस लगता है, बड़ा सुंदर लगता है, बड़ा ही इंटेलेक्चुअल लगता है, philosophies like a philosopher. But if you dissect deep into it, which every seeker must do, seekers means dissection, clarity, हर एक चीज को तोड़ फोड़ के, हर एक चीज तर तक जाओ उसके, go to the root of it and have clarity. If not clarity, demand clarity, because you need clarity. जब तक वो confusion है तब तक नहीं होता, and many people don't even know confusion. So when their inner conflicts play and they come in front of me for any consultation, because मेरी आदत है dissect करके जाना, they will be talking blah blah blah. When we are talking, I sit with my book and pen and I am noting all those things, and my attention has already gone to the roots. They are talking on superficial level. 10 मिनट बात किया, 15 मिनट बात किया, I am catching everything, and immediately within 15-20 minutes we come to know where the catch is, but they are not aware. So when the solution is been to, oh, we didn't think of this, oh my god, I didn't know this, or they'll say I'm confused. You only tell me, Are, you are asking me for answers for the concept that you have held like this for years. तुमको अति प्रिय कॉन्सेप्ट है, तुमको उसके बारे में बोध नहीं है। जब मैं पूछूं तो यू आर टेलिंग आप ही बताओ इसके बारे में। तो अगर मुझे बताना है तो आपको क्या पता है, ये कहां से आया है, पता नहीं है तो मान्यता। just download it from here there, kept it all there because we feel this is precious. जितना ज्यादा ज्ञान मिले उतना जाना ज्ञानी में, जितना ज्यादा साधना करूं उतना बड़ा योगी में। नहीं होता, ऐसा नहीं होता। जितना आप कॉन्सेप्ट्स छोड़ोगे उतना मुक्त आप। कॉन्सेप्ट्स के साथ कोई जा नहीं पाया उधर, ये कॉन्सेप्ट्स ही आपको अटकाएगा। आपको मुक्ति मिलते मिलते आपको फिर वो कॉन्सेप्ट ही बोलेगा, अरे ये मुक्ति कैसे हो सकती है, उधर लगाओ। फिर आप बोलोगे अरे ये मुक्ति थोड़ी होता है, मैंने जो शास्त्र पढ़ा था उसके अंदर मुक्ति का मीनिंग ये है, मुझे जो इन्होंने बताया था, somebody had told me this, the meaning of mukti is like this, awakening means this, oh I read from one another saint, this awakening this happens and enlightenment this happened, मुझे तो कोई नहीं हो रहा है। So मेरे whatever I am experiencing, this is not that I quit everything, I go again back behind these concepts, whereas that was your actual realization that's going to happen, because everybody is unique, everybody has their own karmic structure, everybody has their own patterns, their behavior, attitude, personality, individuality. According to that they will have a unique experience. Everybody is unique, but you can't accept your uniqueness because all that you were taught was you are some lallu panju like others, you are one in the herd, so the whole herd has to have same experience. Impossible. The herd can be taught one philosophy, teaching is another, but experiences will be different. No two people will have same experiences. That is why it's very conflicting. Because same philosophy, one person will have this experience, the other will have another experience. And they will fight among each other. No, this is correct, that is correct. And they will even question, no, that did not happen, this did not happen. Like I said now. Oh, this is realization. No, but for that I had heard realization happens this way. Oh, for this person told freedom is this way. So I am never close to it. I have to follow that philosophy. You can never copy somebody else. You can never become somebody else. If you're trying to copy anybody as your idol, forget it. It's not going to happen. You are in some Brahma. If you think by doing a certain sadhana you are going to become exactly like a guru, false. You will still be unique, you will have your own experience and your own expressions. You can never be the same until you are a philosopher with borrowed concepts. It just come to me as a borrowed concept and I speak the same language. It is not, maybe or may not be in my experience, but I'll talk the same language because that's all that I know. In my experience, it is not, because if experience is real, it will be different. It cannot be the same. You look into all the masters in the lineages, study everybody's history. Everybody is different. I have also come from my own master. My master, you will never find any similarity between me and my master. Very difficult to find because I'm unique. I have my own expressions and my own way of telling, expressing things. He had his own way. Master disciple doesn't mean that I talk exactly like him, I wear exactly like him, I behave exactly like him. Not needed. History will tell you that everybody were different in many ways. Until there is a conformity, this is coming. ये हमारा system है. फिर वो अभी भी अटके हुए हैं system. All the systems are still stuck. Because where you can't experience the oneness, which is the quality of Shiva, Nirguna Nirakar, he's there everywhere. He's there in everything. And if I have not realized that that animal is not less than me, this poor man is not less than me, that rich man is not less than me, and we are all the same, that godliness is there in every, if I have not realized this, and if I say no, it is only in our lineage, whatever I put, whatever big things, उतना भी चोला पहन लो, कुछ भी कर लो, मुक्त नहीं हुए हैं. मुक्ति मीन्स, दैट्स व्हाई आई से मुक्ति, अवधूतों को देखो, मुक्त, मुक्त, कंप्लीटली निर्गुण. सिर्फ निराकार नहीं है, तो इसलिए मैं बोलता हूँ इट्स अ मैजिक, इट्स अ वंडर ऑफ वंडर कि आप अवधूत को देखो तो नमन करना, पूरे रोम रोम से नमन करना. बिकॉज एक निर्गुण, एक गुण के अंदर, सॉरी, एक निराकार आकार के अंदर आपको दिख रहा है. वेरी रेयर, लेकिन गुण नहीं रहेगा उसके अंदर. देर इज नो गुणा इन द अवधूत, बट एक आकार के अंदर निराकार समाया हुआ है. इट्स अ रेयर एक्सपीरियंस टू हैव. Very difficult, that state. No guna means avduta. Where? Look at avdutas. They don't speak. They don't have manners. क्योंकि वो निकल गए गुड एंड बैड, राग द्वेष के इसमें से मुक्त हो गए गुण के बीच में से. ये सब हमारी भाषा है, अच्छे बुरे. उनको अच्छा बुरा कुछ नहीं है. उनके मुंह से गाली भी निकले तो मंत्र है. उनकी मार भी पड़ा तो ब्लेसिंग. इवन इफ दे हिट यू, इट्स अ ब्लेसिंग. Why? Because you're beyond it. And no avdutas teach. Look at the avdutas. Perfected state. स्पीच के लिए गुण चाहिए, गुण चाहिए, सात्विक गुण तो होना चाहिए. एक अच्छा गुण, अच्छा चार बातें बोलूं, एक कुछ समझाऊं. इट्स अ सतो गुण. इट्स अ सेंटली प्रॉपर्टी. इट्स अ सेंट प्रॉपर्टी. इट्स नॉट एन अवधूत प्रॉपर्टी. अवधूत कांट स्पीक बिकॉज शरीर बोध नहीं है. शरीर बोध नहीं है, पंच इंद्रियों में बोध नहीं है, उनका अवेयरनेस नहीं है, उसमें बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं है. तो हाउ विल द बॉडी फंक्शन? इसलिए जब मलमूत्र भी निकलता है, उनको बहुत लोगों को पता नहीं रहता है. एक बच्चा और अवधूत में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है. Small baby and an avdut, there's no difference. Chidakasha Gita talks about it. What is an avduta? You read in Chidakasha Gita. It says a child, a few month, 4-month-year-old child and avduta is the same state. Because both pass urine, they are not aware. Both don't speak. No bhashan. No concepts. Free, mukt, that state. If they want to laugh, they'll laugh. If they want to cry, they'll cry. No reason. And you can't ask them. Can you ask a baby, 2 months, why are you laughing? Why are you crying? Most of the time, when they cry, also you don't know. When they cry, also you don't know. Why are they crying? It takes some time for us to get trained. अच्छा, ये रोना This is for hunger. This is because it's afraid. This is because it is feeling some distress. Take some time to understand that. That too, most of the crying, you still don't know why they are crying, why they are laughing. There's no reason. The child will look into the air and laugh. Avadut will look into the air and laugh. You put a gold in front of them. Put a gold locket and go in front of them. ऐसा बाहर टंगा हुआ. They'll not be impressed. And if you give that gold in their hand, they'll take it and throw it into the gutter. बच्चा अवधूत भी फेंकेगा. You can't impress अवधूत by gold. चिदाकाशा गीता अगेन एक्सप्लेन्स, कुत्ते को आप सोने के बर्तन में दो या मिट्टी के बर्तन में दो, कुत्ते को खाने से मतलब है. Bhagavan Nityananda says, whether you give the dog food in a gold vessel or a mud vessel, the dog is only concerned about the food. It has nothing to do with whether it is mud or gold. He has said that in Chidakashi Gita. This is a child state. Same is an avduta. फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आप उसको कपाल में दो या स्टील के बर्तन में दो या सोने के बर्तन में दो, कोई फर्क नहीं अवधूत. These are the states. This is a liberated state because there is no guna involved. Nirguna. आकार है लेकिन वो आकार के अंदर निराकार छुपा हुआ है, इसलिए उनको पूजनीय है. क्योंकि इस स्थिति के लोग नहीं मिलते हैं धरती पर, बहुत ही कम. उनका दर्शन हुआ तो मत्था टेक लेना, नतमस्तक हो जाना, बिकॉज यू आर बाविंग टू गॉड हिमसेल्फ. लेकिन हमको कहाँ है, हम तो वही स्वरूप में देखेंगे, नीले रंग भगवान, इस मुकुट में भगवान हो, इतने स्वस्थ, इतने अच्छे, इतने सुंदर, वेल शेवन. ये अवधूत कहाँ के गंदे दाढ़ी वाड़ी बन के, ये थोड़ी शिव हो सकते हैं. धत, मेरा कॉन्सेप्ट तो कुछ और कहता है. मैं नारा लगा के वहीं जाऊंगा ढूंढने के लिए उनको. दिस इज व्हाई वी मिस this video is today's video. You can share it to anybody who's stuck in concepts. And if you observe carefully, for the past 1 month, I'm only trying to break the conditions, all kind of conditions. This also comes in that. So this video is very safe to go to people who have concepts, who are tied up in concepts, who feel stuck, who think that no, there is nothing, hopelessness, and they don't know. Many people today I was talking to somebody, a beautiful couple in the session, and they said, we have been doing this so many things, but somewhere we feel something is not right. Can you fill that gap? Very honest question. Somewhere we feel it's not right, but we know we have been doing everything sincerely, properly, but we also know something maybe we are missing, some gap is there. Can you fill that up? I filled up that gap quickly because I knew where it's coming from. And they were happy with it, could understand, see the gap. Concepts make us that. There also I broke the ice. Concepts, मान्यता, जानते नहीं, मानते आए बहुत सारी चीजों को. तो हमारी पूरी प्रयास होनी चाहिए जानने की. उसको तप बोलते हैं, उसको साधना बोलते हैं. जानने का प्रयत्न, मानने का नहीं. मानने का तो कोई बुद्धू भी मान लेगा. मान ले को तो मनवाने को कितना टाइम लगता है? How much time do you need to create beliefs? If you look out in the world, everybody is creating beliefs only. Christians are trying to convert some people, not everybody, are trying to convert other religion people into that. Why? They have a belief that this is the God. And they have a belief that only their God can bring mukti to the whole world. So that belief makes them do that. Do they know God? No way. Have they seen God, known God? Believe in God. मान्यता, जाने नहीं, मूर्खता है. So this is there in other religions also. Everybody has their own kind of मूर्खता. एक आडंबर है. Even spiritual groups have that. एक आडंबर है, अटके हुए हैं. लेकिन ये बोध भी नहीं है कि अटके हुए हैं, क्योंकि जब आदमी को बोध नहीं होता तो वही सत्य लगता है, जो मैं कर रहा हूं वही सत्य लगता है, बाकी सब बेकार लगता है. तो द सुप्रीमेसी एंड दैट righteousness, self-righteousness comes from that ignorance. And everywhere I see lack of awareness is what is causing biggest problem to the seekers. क्योंकि सारे अटके हुए हैं. Only if that awareness comes, बोध अगर आ जाए और पूरे होशो आवाज में जो कर रहे वो करे, will be different results immediately. पूरे होश पूर्वक. And what is होश means what? द फर्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट कि आप वो नहीं जो आप समझ रहे हो. सबसे बड़ी अज्ञानता जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी, ग्लैमर स्पिरिचुअलिटी में ये है कि मैं समझू मैं ये शरीर जो गलत है और ये शरीर तप कर रहा है. ध्यान करो, करने वाला कौन? मैं. तो जब ये मैं है अलग अलग होता है. द डिस्क्रिप्शंस आर डिफरेंट विद दिस मैं. अ रिच मैन विल से मैं साधना करने चला हूं, मैं मेडिटेट करने चला. तो अपने तौर तरीके से वो एकदम बैठेगा इसी रूम में, नीचे नहीं बैठ पाएगा, क्योंकि तौहीन है. उसका कस्टम्स एंड उनके कॉन्सेप्ट्स अलग है. जिंदगी, रवैया, लाइफस्टाइल इज डिफरेंट. तो वो मैं का एक अलग स्टाइल ऑफ साधना होती है. यू मस्ट सीन वीआईपी चेयर्स, दे हैव डिफरेंट स्टाइल ऑफ साधना. एक अपनी तरीका है. वो मैं साधना कर रहा हूं उधर, और उसके ऑपोजिट विपरीत वो भी है, मैं द पुअर, द गुड फॉर नथिंग, द हेल्पलेस, द नो मनी वन, द बेचारा. उस मैं की एक अलग प्रकृति की साधना होगी, एक विमर्श वाली साधना. एक की घमंड वाली साधना, एक विमर्श वाली साधना. Depending on the category of how I proclaim this I will do my practice in that manner. And the first thing that has to be broken, ice has to breaken there is you are not that. The present should be brought ahead. You, the presence, is allowing this body which is not you to do the sadhana. कल मैंने क्या बताया, एक एक छोटे छोटे मैंने नुस्खे बताए. Small tips that I said was, when you feel hungry, try to bring this awareness that I am not hungry, my body is hungry. When I feel sick, bring in this kind of awareness that I am not sick, my body is sick. Slowly there will be a different, एक दो स्वरूप आपका दिखेगा, split. You'll see one is this presence that is in the body, the other is the body itself. Now the path which I am talking about, the line of what I am talking about, the awareness. Awareness has got everything to do with your presence only. It has nothing to do with your body. Body is mind, mind and body is only concepts. Body and mind is full of concepts. Awareness, the presence has no concept. All that I'm saying is from the body, from the mind, you shift into awareness, shift into that presence. When you shift into that presence, you are that which you don't feel you are. And there it is a being. It is a spiritual being, that presence. वो करता नहीं है. That is not a doer. The body, the mind is a doer. So the moment you slip into your awareness and you do, even if you try to do, साधना करनी है, मेडिटेशन करनी है, ध्यान करनी है, तो वहां पे भी जैसा है said, शरीर को भूख लग रहा है, मुझे नहीं लग रहा. I am not hungry, this body is hungry. There also you will have an awareness that okay, I have to do this practice, but the body is the doer, I am not the doer. Your whole sadhana, your whole practice will change. But we talk otherwise. You do that practice. I'm going to do the practice. Who this I? This false I is going. With the ego, it will sit there. Ego means mind is present. You are never enter into your presence. बेहोशी में एक साधना होती है वहां पे. And the whole time I am in my mind, I'm trying to drive away thoughts, all these thoughts. And they say when I am going thinking of something divine thing, all dirty thoughts start coming. Why? Because you are in your mind. You should be in your presence. You're not in your presence. You are stuck in your mind and body. That part only has not been clarified. So whomever I meet who are stuck in these kind, I have tell them, I make them do it right in front of me. Get into this presence and do and see what happens. क्या होता है देखो. मैं का भाव पहले मिटना शुरू हो जाता है. और मुक्ति काहे का भाई, जब तक ये मैं नहीं मिटता कौन सा मुक्ति है. और हमारी पूरी प्रैक्टिस है ये मैं को ही पुष्ट करते जाओ. हर एक चीज देखो आप, सारा कॉन्सेप्ट जो पड़ा है सभी ये मैं को ही पुष्ट करता है. कोई चीज है क्या दिखाओ. विषय निस्वार्थ करो, निष्काम करो, सर्विस, सेवा. कर पाते हैं. लव ने अनकंडीशनल होकर कर पाते हैं, नहीं कर पाते. द बीइंग, द प्रेजेंस इज अनकंडीशनल, द प्रेजेंस इज निस्वार्थ, द प्रेजेंस इज निष्काम. बिकॉज वहां पे कुछ नहीं है, गुण नहीं है. हम क्या करते हैं, बॉडी ये ईगो को लेके निस्वार्थ काम करने चलते हैं, निष्काम करने चलते हो पॉसिबल नहीं होता. इन द एंड एक सिग्नेचर मार के ही आएंगे मैंने ये काम किया, या एक फोटो खींच के ही आएंगे कि निष्काम सेवा करने गए, देखो मैंने निष्काम कितना विपरीत है. देखो मैंने निष्काम सेवा का ये हमारा ग्रुप हमने किया. काहे का निष्काम भाई, व्हेन यू आर प्रोक्लेमिंग इट. सकाम हो गया. मैंने डोनेशन दे दी इतने लाख इतने करोड़. निष्काम सेवा में नहीं है, सकाम सेवा है. समथिंग सकाम व्हाट टू डू होते हैं पर्सनल नीड्स. आपने प्रोक्लेम कर दिया, अहम पुष्ट हो गई. तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, एवरीथिंग सब अहम को ही पुष्ट करने वाली चीजें हैं जो हम करते हैं मूर्ता में. और उसको हम अध्यात्म बोलते हैं और मोक्ष की तरफ जा रहे हैं. कैसे भाई, कैसे जाएगा मोक्ष की तरफ जब ये इतनी स्त्रंतन हो रही है हमारी. तो what I am trying to add on, because these are things that I've learned, it has not helped me. I am a person of dissection. I will go into it, I'll dissect and see through everything properly, because हमारे टीचर्स हमारे बुजुर्गों ने यही सिखाया अपने को. डोंट क्लोज योर आइज एंड एक्सेप्ट एनीथिंग, बिकॉज मैं भी वही सिखाता हूँ यहाँ पे. मैं बोल रहा हूँ जस्ट डोंट, यू डोंट हैव टू ट्रस्ट मी. आई डोंट नीड पीपल हु ट्रस्ट मी. आई एम टेलिंग यू इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क. योर ट्रस्ट इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क. नीदर मी ट्रस्टिंग यू इज गोइंग टू वर्क. Trust is based on falsity. It's based on you. You work on yourself. That's all that I'm saying. पकड़ो इसको तत्वबोध. यू वर्क. अभी मैं मान्यता है, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ ना, इसको अभी मानने में आ रहा है ना, मानो मत. इसको स्वयं जानो, परखो, मंथन करो. अब जब जानोगे तब मानो. that will make more sense to you. तो मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो गैप्स बताता हूँ मैं. And that is why I'm broadcasting it, because not everybody is going to come and ask, but there are many people who are stuck in that. So whoever देखते हैं उनको समझ आती है, and they'll rectify in their life. Rectify करके same path follow करो, same चीजें follow करो, you will see different rung in that. I've done this multiple times where people have felt disconnected with the guru, because गुरु तत्व से अगर आप जुड़े properly नहीं है तो उनकी साधना से भी आप जुड़ नहीं पाओगे. That's how it is, because all is connected, very much connected. And I was in Goa with my friend's house, and उनकी wife जो है very dedicated seeker, but lot of problems, restless nights and no peace of mind, all the time in tension, depressions, tendencies, suicidal tendencies, this, that, all that, but still love for the guru is there. And I didn't know about all this. We were sitting in the house and we were eating food and all that. So we went out and came, and she said, देखो भाई थोड़ा बात करना है आपसे. I said, yeah, go ahead. ऐसे ही हंसते खेलते हैं. I said, ये when will we get anything directly from the guru now? And all that. I said, I don't know. I have never asked him, and he has never told me when, how, and all. I don't know. I said, what happened? No, everything has come to a standstill. 4 साल हो गए, बंद लग रहा है. I said, क्यों? Oh, because there is no more. I said, that is the problem. You are still gone in the stulta, grossness. You are stuck in the grossness, and there is where your problem. Because grossness means concepts. You are loving the concepts. You are not catching what is beyond the concepts. Are you catching the presence, essence? I don't know how to do. I said, sit down here right now. Sit down here, and I'm not going to teach you anything and all that. बातें करने लग गया. बातें बोलते 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 raise the awareness there, and suddenly when the consciousness raised, I immediately connected to the Guru Tattva and connected to the Guru, and there she started shaking. And tears of joys and crying and all these things. I said, what happened? I was watching. After some time, when everything settled, thank you so much. This is so relieving. I said, how much time did it take? 10 minutes? So you mean to say 4 years you were disconnected and in 10 minutes you got connected? Tattva. That's why I'm stressing so much on this tattva. You can do magic if you understand. This gap is awareness. Bodh, होश. तो बेहोशी में कर रहे थे, इसलिए 4 साल भी मैकेनिकल लग रहा था. Nothing was happening. Because how can you connect to anything? It's all bhav, it's all emotions, it's love that emanates. And these are so sukshma. A gross person can never have it. It's very difficult if you enter into gross. You have to go into subtle. And what is awareness? Subtle develops and enhances your that quality when you enter into awareness. As simple as that. So any path you follow, it doesn't matter. For us, it's no concern, whichever, like. There is no conversion from this path, that path, nothing to do. Whichever path you are, this awakens you and makes you more enlightened and understand that tattva. And that method which you are following is very powerful. It is not that because I did something that person had that powerful experience. No, that method which they are following is very powerful. But that substance which is missing is causing the problem. So when you add that missing substance, suddenly they get connected to it. Simple as that. Spirituality is very simple. I always say this. We complicate it. Spirituality is very, very simple. And that is why these talks also are very simple. इसमें कोई concepts नहीं, इसमें कौन सा method है अभी मैं जो बता रहा हूँ. But सारे के सारे methods आ गए. अगर समझ आ गया, there are multiple methods hidden in this. What I'm talking. These only can become those methods. There is no separate method to be introduced. Because if I do that, then it becomes another concept. I'm very scared of whenever I say, let us do a practice. Then they say, share your method. Then you're still stuck in that, my method has not worked, this method will work. Gadbadai. It's not about the method. That is why I said, awareness is zero concepts, zero methods, zero concepts, but full attention, where you give your full attention, full awareness on that enlightens your life. So if you have any questions, you can ask. It's close to midnight. नमस्ते जी, इस तरफ जो भी यूट्यूब में हैं, जय कुमार जी, रौनक जी, ज्योति जी. So that's all clear. Pratyush, awareness is the same thing, भैया. What Guru says, आपके राम आप में आप होकर रहते हैं. Awareness is not that Ram actually. Awareness makes you aware of that Ram. आपके भीतर के राम means what? The God hidden within you. ये आपको कौन दिखाता है? कौन आपको भाव, ये आपको कौन दर्शाता है? ये आपको कौन ये फीलिंग, ये आपको कौन बोध कराता है? आपकी अवेयरनेस. Your awareness makes you aware of the God within you. There are two types of awareness, which I have not talked about the other because it's too early to talk. But in Tirunamalai and all those, I talk about those concepts. There's something called awareness and something called pure awareness. What you are saying, Ram and Shiva and all that, this is pure awareness, pure awareness, purest of pure. When I say awareness, it is my awareness which is coming from my intellectual knowledge. मेरी बुद्धि से आती है, मेरी विवेक जो मैं जागृत होकर अवेयर हो सकता हूँ, देख सकता हूँ. दिस इज माय पर्सनलाइज्ड अवेयरनेस. इसके ऊपर एक अवेयरनेस है, प्योर अवेयरनेस, विच इज आत्मन. वो प्योर अवेयरनेस ही सोल है, आत्मन. तो ये अवेयरनेस इटसेल्फ इज नॉट सोल. दिस अवेयरनेस इज स्टिल मन के दायरे में ही है, लेकिन ऊपर है, मन के ऊपर विवेक के लेवल पे है. ये अभी भी अहम के अंदर ही आया, क्योंकि एक बोध होता है ये अवेयरनेस में भी कि आई एम बिकमिंग अवेयर. वो आई अभी भी है. देयर इज समवन हु इज बिकमिंग अवेयर. दिस वाज ब्यूटीफुली पॉइंटेड आउट बाय माय डियर वेस्टर्न फ्रेंड्स Linda and Mr. Brown in Tirunamalai. They came to meet me, husband and wife, very advanced souls. अवधूतों के साथ रहे हैं, ग्रेट मिस्टिक्स के साथ रहे हैं. आनंदमयी माँ की कृपा है उन पे. दे टुक दीक्षा फ्रॉम आनंदमयी माँ एंड बहुत अदर गुरुज को वो मिले. पुंडी स्वामी जी के साथ भी रहे. वी आर हैविंग अ सत्संग, अराउंड 4 hours सत्संग. ब्यूटिफुली Linda caught this. Linda listens to almost all my talks, whereas husband sometimes is, as the time being. Linda told me, I see all your, but she pointed out one thing. Even in the awareness that you're talking about, there is still an essence that I am knowing. I am aware. That I is still there. That also is not due. I said, perfect, you got it perfectly right. I was wondering who will ask me this question someday. Because when I talk about it, it's still there. But I know people are not thinking from that Ramana's point of view. But I was so glad. And then Mr. Brown pointed out very clearly about all these things. He told, I get all your points. Even I've seen this from my guru. In all these years of practice, I've done these things. But still, this one point is there. And that is when I pointed out to him. Above that comes the Ramana Tattva. That is the third step of what I'm talking about. This, what I'm talking all these days, is just the first aspect, where you just become first and the second somewhat. Grossly you are aware, and then you become aware of the subtleness and all that. And once you have a little grip on that, I am awareness. This I am awareness also is a personalized feeling that I am awareness. My awareness is seeing the mind. See, there is a mind. My awareness is. Now the question is, who's that I which is saying my awareness? That is going to, who am I? That's little deeper. It won't make sense now, so I don't talk much of this in the life. So we had a 4-hour satsang where I was talking to him, and talking, I was talking to go, and suddenly he had that glimpse of that, and he said, yes, I get it now. He was so happy. He banged this hand. Yes, I got it now. What I was thinking, like, this is the so slight gap. So that aspect is that my awareness is there. I am becoming aware of my body. I'm becoming aware of my mind. I'm aware of my thoughts. ये चल रहा है. I'm the witness. I'm seeing everything. This witness itself is not the main. This is just watching everything. Okay, it's aware. And it is even discriminating. ये अच्छा है, बुरा है. Oh, I have drift off. Now I'm coming back. There, that I is still there, that awareness. This is the personalized awareness. Now, when you get a little grip on this awareness, then you question, who is the one who's watching this awareness, watching this? That who, when you find out who's that I am not this awareness, I pull back one more step. and I see I am watching this awareness doing this activity. This is that Atman. This is the self. Anyways, that's a little deep. So even if you understand this, first to get even to that, on this level, lot of mind has to go. Too much mind is not going to work. So concepts, breaking the concept with the deliberate efforts, listening to such things. Listen to Osho, I always say. Why? Because there is no soft language there. You'll speak so harsh that you will get a jolt. And we need masters like that, like Gurdjieff and Osho and all that. Very stern masters. They will straight talk to the point. No flowery language. And Advaita Tattva, the non-duality that I'm stressing so much. If you want to realize who's that, listen to Swami Sarva Priyananda of Ramakrishna Mission. Beautiful insights, deep insights, humble insights, and very practical and clear explanation of anything in Advaita. That is still intellectual knowledge, okay? That is still, he won't give you an experience. Right? He will talk in clarity about the explanation, the intellectual knowledge, the Vedic with Vedanta, he will explain. Very beautifully, he will explain. So you can still catch it, but that is still intellectual level. In case you have a curiosity to know the Atma Tattva, the Advaita, the Nirguna, Nirakara, what we are talking, formless, he will give a very beautiful Swami Sarva Priyananda of Ramakrishna Mission. Very beautiful. I followed him for years. And another person like Osho, but still in the dharmic dress, dharmic dadi, and like a saint or guru, Swami Anubhavananda. Beautiful tattvas he will talk. धज्जियां उड़ाने वाले. Not as harsh as Osho. Still a little bit of about what do you call, concepts are there, still not fully, but still he will open. He is Swami Anubhavananda, who can even criticize an ashram, the guru systems, the Swami systems. He's not criticizing the people, he's criticizing the catches in that. जहाँ एक एक फंस जाते हैं, छोटे छोटे चीजें हैं जहाँ जकड़न है, conflicting. It has to be completely liberating. It's not. He will talk against it. And he will talk because he's a free man. He's a wandering man again. He's a parivrajaka. He wanders. A very old person in age and all that, but very wise, very humorous, very nice, but he will talk straight the tattva. Very, very wise person. Swami Anubhavananda. These two people are there whom I have followed very nicely. And Osho, of course. Yesterday, I don't know, I was seeing that Osho's video. It's a beautiful song also. Where he has left the body and he had instructed everybody from before years till nobody will cry, because he was a man against all the cult system, but he knew that his community is going to become a cult. He had told that. Though I'm against all the cult and community systems, I know you guys will do the same nonsense. And exactly that happened. I know you will idolize me. You will keep my remnants and all that. So before going also, he destroyed most of these things. He got the things destroyed. Where he stood, the place he lectured, he gave hours, hundreds of hours of lecture, he got it destroyed, and close to that he asked to create a storeroom. See this. He asked to destroy all the marble buildings that were there. He was never impressed with the tomb, samadhi and stuff. He wanted to cremate the body. He said, otherwise you वही करोगे आप लोग, समाधि बनाओ, पूजा करते बैठो. And he said, nobody should cry when I leave. Rejoice, it's a celebration. Nothing big deal has happened. And that is why yesterday's video I put on my Jake Light profile. You can see it. Osho's passing away. They're bringing his body and everybody is celebrating. Few of them can't bear it. And it's so easy to say celebrate. I broke down yesterday. I wept literally for 10-15 minutes. I couldn't take that. It was like we lost the gem. because when he was alive, all those recordings were never made available to public. But see that man, he knew this, his work is going to live for centuries. He knew it, and with that he has done it. I get it from my intuition. He knew it very well that he is going to serve the people of much more generations after that also. And that is why he got it all recorded. And today it's all come out like anything. This was meant to be his very private talks. But this is liberating so many people today, exposing so many things, breaking so many conditions. I salute that man. I salute that man. Salute that man. So I wept yesterday, just seeing. I couldn't see, though he said nobody must cry and all that. I'm sure I could see in the public, few of them cannot hold back. What a contribution! I mean, what a contribution he gave to humanity. For me, it has been extreme. I can't express how much my life has changed by his philosophies and by how much of gyan, how much of light has been spread into my darkness. So we keep losing people. We keep losing genuine people, but we never lose our concepts. Very unfortunate thing. So it is better while these kind of people are there, beings are there around, make the best use of it. Who knows? Okay, thank you everyone. माला जी, प्रज्ञा जी, कश्मीरा जी, मीरा जी, पूनम जी, ईशान जी, ईशान भाई केम छो? बहुत दिन बाद दिख रहे हो आप. राहुल भाई, पुनीत जी, अरविंद, सुनीता, रेनू, प्रत्युष, परशुराम, प्रियंका, संजीता, अनीता, अनिला, आशा, आकाश, टीना, चैताली, हेमा मालिनी. All, thank you for being so late with me again. I hope this session has helped you. May we all be blessed. May we all evolve. May we all be free. Dev Sharanam. Adut Chintan. Sri Gurudev. Stay blessed.